Welcome to CMAC Sports coverage of high school football. Tonight it's McLane High and Roosevelt High, a senior night game here from McLane Stadium. I'm Dan Taylor. With me the coach, Dr. JoJo Reyes, and we've got an exciting one on tap.
Oh, we definitely do. And what's really nice about tonight is that you can see the weather's changing just a little bit, and the weather does play a pivotal thing or a mindset on the kids, because now I think you're going to see some kids really just laying the hat, bringing the hammer, playing extra hard. You don't have to worry about the heat. And anytime the rain comes out, a little slip and a slide. And so tonight, I believe you're going to see some hard hitting and some high scoring.
We'll be back with that and much more right after this.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back to CMAC's coverage of high school football. McLane High and Roosevelt High tonight from McLane Stadium. It is senior night for the host Highlanders. Joining me, two of the senior standouts on the McLane team. So is Kelly, the McLane quarterback, and going into your final home game. Any emotions, any feelings about that?
Oh, man, I just think back to freshman year playing on the small field and just knowing that it's going to be my last time playing here. It's hitting me. I haven't cried yet, but maybe after the game.
Big night last week. Finally cracked that win column, and it was a terrific performance by all three phases. The offense scoring 21 points, the defense coming up with 3 big picks, the special teams with a run back for a score. How does that help your confidence coming in tonight?
Oh, well, the team right now, we're just pumped. We're hyped. We got the win, and we feel like we're about to roll in. Finally, it took longer than it had to be, but we're happy it came through, and we want to carry on to this game here.
When you look at the offense, and of course we're getting some rain tonight, field might be a little bit wet. Since we've been in a drought here in California for a few years, you probably haven't had to practice or play in a wet field in a while.
Oh, yeah, I don't actually believe I played on a wet field yet, so this is probably like my first time playing in the rain.
Has Coach talked to you? Do you come up with any ideas on the snap situation and keeping the ball dry and being able to make handoffs without any problems?
No, we don't really believe the water is going to affect our game plan, just other than audibles, other than that, to check it to a run or whatnot.
Probably be tougher on the two schools that are in here tomorrow night after you guys have done a number on the field tonight.
Yeah, the field probably is going to be muddy, probably.
How well have you done a lot of film study this week? How well do you know that Roosevelt High defense?
Well, all I know is the box. They leave the box pretty empty, so I'm looking excited for myself to get right up in there.
Good luck tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Hope it's a fun senior night. Oscar, let's slide over here with you, playing both ways on that line, and a little bit of a wet field tonight. What do you expect?
Oh, well, I'm expecting to be slippery, of course, and, to have not much traction. So I'm going to have to keep it low and fire off.
Roosevelt, last couple of weeks, they've kind of turned things around. I think with the new quarterback they've got, teams aren't necessarily loading up the box on them, and a little more balance to their attack. And they ran the football pretty well the last couple of weeks. Are you expecting them to lead with the run tonight?
Yeah, it's most likely. We've been watching film. They've been doing a lot of hitches and, pass type things. But since it's raining and the conditions, we're expecting him to run.
Senior night tonight, what kind of emotions are you feeling?
Oh, man. Words can't explain. I played there all my 4 years, freshman, JV, varsity. I played on all levels, and, it's kind of weighing down on me.
A lot of family going to be here tonight?
Yeah, my mom, my dad, my nephew, my niece, it's going to be good.
As they always say, you get emotional until that first hit out there, and then you focus on football, right?
Oh, yeah, you get those butterflies, and once you get that first hit, it's all downhill from there.
Big week for the defense last week. 3 picks. That had to pick up everybody on the defensive side of the football.
Oh, yeah, man. we've been kind of struggling on the defense. You know, our backers, our line, myself, and you know, we just try and pick things up.
When a team goes through some of the struggles that this team has throughout the season, where does the leadership come from that pulls all the other players up? Is it seniors? Is it the coaching staff?
Oh, you know, it's a little bit of both. You know, seniors, coaching staff. You know, we all have a senior from each position group trying to pull their own weight around, and the coaches too.
So you had to feel that last week makes that leadership pay off.
Yeah, it does. And you know, me myself being a senior and also Julian being a senior, we have to kind of step it up these last couple games and just bring those dubs.
McLane Highlanders hoping to go out with a big finish. Senior night tonight. It'll be emotional, but they're fired up to take on Roosevelt, and we'll be back with much more right after this.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back to CMAC Sports coverage of McLane and Roosevelt here at McLane Stadium. Joining me now, the first-year head coach of the McLane High Highlanders, Brian Roberson. And Brian, senior night tonight, a lot of emotions as you come out onto the field tonight, and you're going against a longtime rival in Roosevelt.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good game tonight, going against another Fresno State dog in Atnoff Harris. Should be some fireworks.
Big week for you guys coming off of a win, your first win last week over Reedley, and the defense stepped up, 21 points from the offense. Things really came together.
Yeah, the kids went out there and got this game. They earned it on the special teams. They earned it on the defense, and offensively put some points on the board. So they had a good game. You know, we had a good game plan for Roosevelt tonight, so looking forward to it, see how we go.
Teaching is such a part of coaching at the high school ranks. Young men in life are going to go through adversity. They've gone through some adversity. They've bounced back, played well last week. What's your message to them? What is it like coaching in your first year and at this time of the season with what this team's gone through?
Everything's like a speed bump. You know, we just got to ease over it. You know, pick ourselves up, continue to fight, support one another. Everybody in life has a struggle to deal with, so we just got to overcome it, believe in ourselves, and keep counting on each other to fight for one another. Looking forward to go out and have a good win today. We got a good game plan for these guys, so we're just looking forward to execute.
Well, we've been in a drought in California for a few years now, but we've had rain on and off throughout the afternoon. I guess the field's going to be a little wet tonight. Probably better to play on it tonight than tomorrow night after a game, but does it change your play calling, change your strategy going in?
Not really. We're going to still run the ball. We're going to throw the ball. I got a good senior quarterback who can deliver the ball. I got some good receivers out there who can catch it with their hands. We're just going to go out there and give it our best shot. We'll see how things, change depending on how the rain falls tonight, but we look out to keep everything normal, go out there and just execute the best we can.
Roosevelt's run the football a little bit more effectively since the new quarterback addition in De La Rosa. You've got Vernell Sessions in the middle. It makes it pretty tough to run off tackle and go through the A-gap. Do you feel confident, or is it going to be a challenge tonight for them to get their running game established?
I think it's going to be a challenge. We made a change in our coaching staff halfway through the season, and so our defense have taken on to our coach Ferguson pretty well. I like the way they've been practicing this week. They're getting after it. They're all in unison, and it showed last week against Reedley. So I think we got a good game plan for their offense, to stop their running game and put them in position to throw the ball a lot. Our DBs are ready to try to go out there and make some more interceptions, and we'll see how it goes.
Special teams at the high school level, not always something you get points from. Last week you had an 80-yard run back for a touchdown, and your special teams played very well.
Our special teams have been coming along slowly. We tried a couple of wrinkles. using a swinging gate last week in our 2-point conversions, and it worked 4 times for us. Our kick returner had a good kick return. He didn't get many blocks, so he broke a lot of tackles to get down there, but I'm proud of him. You know, he had the opportunity to run a kickback against Kerman, and he got caught inside the 5. So we made jokes on him about that, but he made sure this time he got his knees up, got into the end zone, so I'm so happy for Brandon. Our special teams, we're looking forward to them to going out and executing a good game for us. In a game like this, when you got rain going on, special teams are going to be a big opportunity to make plays or to end plays. So we're just looking forward to play a complete game, you know, all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. We just want to go out there and have fun and try to get this one. From what my players said, we want to be the best team on Cedar.
Sounds like a deal. First year as a head coach, you've had a lot of people in your life that have been very influential, not only Fresno State, but in the XFL, the New York Giants, the Canadian League in Saskatchewan, and of course the Skipper family, part of your family. Who have been some of the big influences on you?
You just pretty much said it right there. I mean, you named everybody. Coach Sweeney, Jeff Tedford, one of the best offensive coordinators I played for. I'm hoping to see if he get an opportunity to be the head coach for the Dogs. Looking forward to seeing what we can do. I appreciate all the coaches. My high school coach, Jeff Engelman, always influenced me to be the best player I can be offensively, defensively, but just go out there and just execute. Show me how to go out here and get a scholarship to play at Fresno State. Steve Mushagan, Jethro Franklin, I told you the Skippers, even Tim being my younger cousin, big influence at Florida. Coach Joseph last year at McLane actually gave me a lot of understanding of how to be a head coach. Corey Hall at Clovis North gave me a lot of information on how to be a head coach. So I've been prepared for this. Oh yeah, I won't forget Anthony Golson at SJM. Learned a lot from him and his program. So they pretty much set me up pretty well for this opportunity to work with these young men. It's been a challenge, but I look forward to the challenge each day. These young men are working their butts off. They're trying to break down barriers that they haven't experienced over the last years, and that's being a winning program. So I know our record doesn't reflect the winning, but our program is changing from the inside out. So right now it doesn't look like we're winning a lot. We're doing well as far as the wins, but we're doing well in the classroom. We're doing well with numbers, and our freshman team was real good this year, so we're looking forward to the future.
Good leadership, good example being set. Congratulations and good luck tonight. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. Welcome to McLane Stadium in central Fresno, where CMAX Sports presents high school football. Tonight's matchup features a pair of North Yosemite League rivals, the McLane High School Highlanders and the Roosevelt High School Rough Riders. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Taylor. I'm with the coach, Dr. Jojo Reyes. And Coach, we've had rain today.
Lots of rain.
And what does the field look like to you, and how might that impact tonight's game?
I have a feeling that it's going to be an awesome game in respect to the field. The field, we had a lot of rain a little bit early on. The field is nice and moist. The JVs were on there. It's great field conditions. I don't think you're going to see a lot of slips and falls. If anything, I think you're going to see some kids show a little burst of speed. They're going to dig those heels in and those cleats into the ground, and I think you're going to see something special tonight from both teams.
You're looking at senior night festivities out on the field right now as McLane High School's group of 17 seniors take their final bow, coming out with members of their family and get their accolades in their final home game here at McLane Stadium. Many of them have been involved in the McLane football program for 4 years, beginning as freshmen, then moving up to the junior varsity as sophomores, and then spending a couple of seasons on the varsity. It has been a trying season for first-year head coach Brian Roberson. You go way back with Rovidier days together at Fresno State, and
Yes.
he's learning a lot on the job in his first year as a head coach.
Yes, I haven't seen Brian in about 10 years, so it was really nice to catch up with him a little bit and just talk about the ins and outs of, these kids are only separated by a couple miles really from the Roosevelt area and the McLane area. And with that, there's a lot of social emotional things that go on, and you like you said, you wear many, many hats, and being a counselor is one of them. Being in taxi is another. Being the lunch lady or the lunch man is another one. So, I had an opportunity to talk to Brian before the game and just kind of give him the ins and outs of what to look for and what to possibly expect in the future. But he's a real smart man. He has a lot of good resources around him, and it looks like he's doing some good things. They won their first game last week against Reedley. He's got some momentum going, and he's always been very, very positive. And so when you have that positive attitude and outlook, your players feed off it.
Both schools tonight with first-year head coaches. Brian's good friend Atnoff Harris, another former Bulldog standout, is the head coach in his first season with the Roosevelt High School Rough Riders. And they, the last 3 weeks, seem like they have turned a corner.
That's correct. Luckily last week I had an opportunity to do the Roosevelt and Hoover game. And watching Atnoff on the sidelines and watching his players, I really do believe they have a nice pick there. I do believe he's there to stay, and also he works around a lot of troubled youth in the first place. So getting this first year of experience under his belt, I think in more so he's going to have a lot more resources coming in. Again, he's a local kid. He's a local guy. People know his name. The players are buying into him, and it's very evident on the football field.
Some interesting players in that Roosevelt green and white to watch tonight. Of course, Jordan De La Rosa, the quarterback, he's been eligible for 3 weeks now, and his presence has really changed the makeup of that Roosevelt High School offense.
Yeah, most definitely. Anytime they have a 6'5" quarterback and he's taller than most of the players on the team, just give me the ball and I'm just going to pitch it. We talked about his release a little bit earlier and his mechanics, but for the most part, the kid's a very good athlete. He's a competitor, and that's what, looking at the sidelines when you're down, because that game was a back and forth game, and seeing how the athletes were reacting, De La Rosa was one of those kids that he's just a fighter.
Well, they got shut out, 4 times in preseason, in non-league games, and now in league. They have really kind of gotten things going, played much more impressively. They're putting points on the board. Both these teams look to be fairly evenly matched tonight. At least that is what a lot of people around these two teams are saying. Daniel Love, a little scat back, is a guy who's you're going to really see do some things. They like to run the football, and I think that now that De La Rosa has been able to throw effectively, that has kept teams from loading up the box and enabled them to run much more effectively.
Most definitely, because now as a defensive coordinator, you're thinking, wow, they can throw the ball, they can run the ball. And so when you're thinking about, okay, well, what situation are we in, then it really becomes, okay, what do we have on the line? Who's going to be a playmaker? Because it's one thing to call the play, but it's also another thing to implement it. So when you see players like De La Rosa and you see the scat backs and you see the receivers, what I'm looking for tonight mainly is that how much have they learned in 1 week? Because that week, that game last week, they were on the verge of winning. Hoover had a little bit more experience. They haven't been shut out. Shannon Pulliam's teams have scored 2 or 3 times each week. And so that experience really came through. So what I'm anxious to see here is that when Roosevelt, building off what they did last week, what can you do now? What happened? I wasn't in the locker room, but what did you talk about? What did you talk about in film? And where's the mindset?
Right. Well, with 3 consecutive strong performances, their confidence has to be growing at this point of the season, and not only is it a learning opportunity for the players, but for the coaches as well.
Yes, because the coaches are first-year coaches. A lot of the players are probably some first-year players, and they're getting to gel. They're all learning how to win. They're all learning how to win in respect to Roosevelt was shut out. And, the fact of the matter is that you're not learning how to win that way, because at that point, you're just trying to salvage what you have as a team and just saying, hey, guys, we're going to go ahead and fight the following week. So looking at that, what is the character that's going to come out tonight? As a head coach, what did you learn in the past 8 weeks to get you to this point to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do differently because I was in the situation before?
No secrets between these two programs. Last year, Atnoff Harris, the current Roosevelt head coach, was an assistant at Edison High. Yes. During the summer, he had signed on to join Brian Roberson's staff at McLane High as his offensive coordinator. And then about a month before things got going, preseason was to get moving, Roosevelt High School calls and offers him their head coaching job. So he certainly knows the playbook here at McLane High, knows what Brian's going to do, and I don't think there's many secrets between these two good friends.
No, I don't think there's going to be many secrets at all, because in order to coach both of these two teams, you're going to have to spend a lot of time with these players, and so a lot of time with these players doesn't equate a lot of time at home. So looking at this, I know that they're buddies, but I know deep down inside when they split off and go to the opposite sidelines, they're out for blood.
Well, the rain has subsided. We had rain probably from around the lunch hour until maybe an hour and a half ago, on and off, and pretty steady rain at times here in central Fresno. But a clear night right now. The rain is gone, and a beautiful night for high school football as you see more and more of the seniors working their way out with their family members, being honored on their final night playing in the red, white, and black of McLane High School here at McLane Stadium. National anthem has been performed. The Roosevelt cheerleaders down in front of us with their pink breast cancer awareness ribbons and pom-poms tonight in a festive mood. And across the way, a lot of festivities going on as you're seeing in the northwest corner of the end zone, beneath the big McLane Highlander mascot. Coach Roberson sending out his last couple of seniors for their honor walk, passing their teammates and coming out with their family members, heading out toward midfield, where they will be recognized by fellow members of the student body up in the stands. A few members of the band have made it out. That's always one of the drawbacks to a rainy day, a rainy night. Band uniforms don't really handle wet weather very well, and so
but they're troopers.
Exactly.
They're
Oh, they
troopers.
are. They really are. And in a lot of cases, the band will pull back and may not come out in full force for a game, understandably. But in this case, we do have band members that have made their way at about the 35-yard line into the stands across the way. So we're going to have some fun celebrating going on. Looks like about our final member of McLane High senior class about to come out. That looks like Ben Royale, center defensive end, and the final one of McLane High's 17 seniors. And once he is recognized, we will be ready to move on with our kickoff and get this game going. As we come in the North Yosemite League standings right now, we see Sunnyside High School. And you have seen Sunnyside a couple of times here on CMAC this year.
Right.
And the Wildcats sitting on top of the standings with a 3-0 mark. And, JoJo, they have really looked good this year.
They definitely look good. I was watching them a little bit last week. And then so I know they fell to Fresno, but it wasn't because they didn't have talent. You know, I know at keeping it kind of,
the other way around, they beat Fresno.
Oh, I thought Fresno.
They're 3-0.
That's my mistake. My mistake.
They're 3-0 and sitting on top.
Yes, they're rolling through.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
They are the kings of the league right now.
And I believe they've got, if I remember right, I could be mistaken, Hoover tomorrow, and then they wrap it up with Reedley, who is 0-8. Will be their finale a week from tomorrow. So they're clearly in the driver's seat to win the North Yosemite League title. They had won 3 straight. Then last year finished second. They lost the heartbreaker to Fresno High. I think one of the final games, if not the final game of the year, and bounced back with a big win last week over Fresno High to grab sole possession of the North Yosemite League. Fresno High and Hoover High sport identical 2-1 records. And then these two teams, Roosevelt and McLane, at 1-2, meeting up tonight, trying to break that deadlock. Reedley High going through a rough season this year. They're 0-3. And the festivities just about to wrap up. Our officials are making their way out to the a couple of them are making their way out. The 3 of the others are taking their last opportunity to rest up before
soak it up.
They get working. But and as they get out onto the field, we'll bring you the officiating crew for tonight. But as we see the referee tonight, this is Ben Hurd. He's our referee tonight. John Raymond is the umpire. The head linesman is Scott Hammock. The line judge will be Efren Mendez, and the back judge will be Chuck Calvert. That's our 5 officials working here tonight at McLane Stadium. Senior night, McLane High, Roosevelt High, just a few minutes away from wrapping up the pregame festivities, as the remainder of the Highlanders are now in the big blow-up mascot, waiting to charge out onto the field and join their teammates who have been introduced and taken a final round of applause from classmates and been able to celebrate and enjoy the night with family and friends here.
Hey, look at that! I like the mascot. That's a Highlander.
Very Highlander.
That's
You're right.
Very Highlander right there. You should be very proud of your old school. Well, not your school, but all those out there in TV land, all you McLane Highlanders.
These two teams have been meeting up going back to 1959, which was the first year that McLane High opened up. Roosevelt High, the 3rd oldest school in the city after Fresno High and Edison High. And Roosevelt, a tremendous football heritage. Of course, you were part of that as a coach over there, and some great players. Lewis Jackson from the mid-'70s,
yes. Tremendous. Rich history.
Played a bit in the NFL and the USFL, an All-American at Cal Poly, led them to a Division II national title. And Doug Gaynor, an outstanding quarterback at Long Beach State, and also a little bit of time with the NFL Cincinnati Bengals. So they have had some terrific talent come through Roosevelt High. And Otnoff Harris hoping that he and his staff can help some of these young men continue to develop their skills and see what next year may bring.
And here they come. Are you ready to play? You know, I'd say, Dan, out of all the stadiums, I've always liked playing here at McLane. You know, my time in Clovis, my time in Fresno Unified. I've always liked playing in McLane. There's just something about this stadium that is just electric.
Fans are very close. Usually you'll have a band making a lot of noise. Cheer squads can be heard easily throughout the stadium. Terrific place for high school football, and we're glad you were with us here on CMAC tonight. And we have a lot of McLane High students that are involved in making this production happen, and they're excited working the cameras. The Community Media Access Collaborative, CMAC, and it offers training and opportunities to learn and grow and make your way into the broadcast profession. It's a great opportunity. CMAC located in the old B building downtown, in the old Met Museum building downtown on Van Ness. And they provide programming to both Comcast and the ATCUverse. We invite you to check out our website at cmac.tv. And you'll find information there on the website about classes and events. So be sure to take a look at it. And if you're interested in getting into the profession, go down and check out their classes. And it's a great opportunity to learn. Tremendous professionals involved. And we've got a lot of young students who are learning and trying to grow their skills here tonight. Glad you're with us here on CMAC for high school football. Out on the field already, waiting to put the ball in play. The Roosevelt High School Rough Riders in their traditional green and yellow.
Hey, now, Dan, you're talking about getting your start in broadcast production. Did you get your start in high school in a way?
I did. I actually did. Did a lot of PA announcing and got into some radio work. And then John Wallace invited me to come down and help out at ABC 30 and led to a terrific career. I was indebted to John and many who helped me along the way. So Roosevelt High will put it into play. Romero will do the kickoff duties. And deep to receive, it'll be Reyes and Burgess for McLane High. They had a long 80-yard kickoff return last week in their win against Reedley, and we've already got a penalty flag down.
A little too rambunctious.
Usually happens too.
Right. But that's a good sign. That means you're ready to play.
Definitely, definitely.
But McLane will do it. They will have good field position.
Well, they're going to do it again. They'll kick this one from the 45-yard line. And back in that northwest corner of the end zone, the air has come out of the big Highlander mascot, and let's hope that's the only Highlander that the air comes out of tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, all right, is your coach telling you, where are you kicking the ball right now? Are you going to the sideline, or are you going to kick it deep? Let's see what they do.
Well, this is high school football. You don't see too many deep kicks.
That's true. But there are some kids in this valley with some pretty good legs.
There usually is. There usually is. Romero's going to put it in play from the 35 this time after the penalty on the opening kickoff attempt. And he's putting it deep. Martin taking it at the 10-yard line, getting cut to the far side, works his way around the pursuit.
Nice wrap up.
And he is brought down at about the 18-yard line.
And looks like Moultrie, wasn't it? Or is that not Moultrie, or is that Buntavancic?
Buntavancic on the tackle. You're right. You're right.
I hope I said that correctly.
Martin brings the offense out onto the field. The senior quarterback, who is second in the North Yosemite League this year in passing yardage. Strong the last few games for the Highlanders. First and 10 from their own 18-yard line.
Going to spread it out already. Good.
Indeed. Three receivers to the near side. Martin taking it off the left tackle, works his way around to about the 25, 26-yard line. So about a pickup of 7 on that initial run.
It's a nice run. You know, watching last week Roosevelt against Hoover, Roosevelt came out hot. They came out hot. Their defense came out hot. Their offense came out hot. So just watching that first play right now, there's about 4 or 5 arm tackles. That's not going to get you through the win tonight.
Absolutely.
Wrap up, fellas. Wrap up.
Jakari Fisher to the near side, along with Tongu Hur, the receiver to the near side, as they have 3 receivers in the lower part of your screen.
And they're going 5 wide.
Indeed.
Here we go.
Kelly here on 2nd down and 2. Flicks it out to Arias.
Good enough for the first.
And indeed. Not a bad way to start the night. 2 plays, and you're already have your first down in the books.
That might be something that that coach might want to stick with. Just spread them out, get that defense nice and tired. Because when you look at the sideline, there's not a lot of guys that go out and backfill. A lot of your skill players.
Late substitution coming in, but once again, just as you mentioned, Coach, they spread it out. 5 receivers.
Oh, small dagger, but it's okay.
Something that Coach Roberson did not like is he uses a timeout to have a little discussion with his players. Clearly not happy with the set they were in at that time. And Otnoff Harris takes advantage of the opportunity, as coaching staff does, to bring their players over to the near sideline, have a little discussion about what they are seeing from that McLane offense.
Right, that's a free 30 seconds of a breather right there. That's great. Time to adjust. Time to adjust.
Great spirit, great enthusiasm here at McLane Stadium tonight. The Roosevelt cheer squad down below us.
Yeah, Roosevelt they traveled well.
Got a nice big band in front of the press box down here as well. Great school spirit here at McLane Stadium tonight. Roosevelt McLane. Week 9 of the 10-week high school football season.
You know, one of the things that we talked about last week is that when, as a head coach, and I know both these coaches their first year, it's that your players are going to feed off how you react. So most definitely. So let's see what this next play is going to bring us. Did you calm them down?
Martin in the backfield this time, showing a bit of blitz, the Rough Rider linebackers.
Oh, good penetration. Oh,
and
he caught
by
it.
Martin out of the backfield. Tremendous catch by Martin, leaping above 3 Roosevelt defenders.
That was very, very dangerous.
Brings that ball down at about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that could have easily gone the other way. So good job.
Look, Coach, initially like maybe that was supposed to be a screen, the way they let those players come in through the middle, and it wasn't there. Somebody missed an assignment, and Kelly had to just heave it up there out of desperation.
A great athleticism by that young man right there.
Martin with a tremendous catch, giving the Highlanders a first down at the 43-yard line. Khalil Martin, a senior, 5'8", 140-pounder. Areas to the near side. 2 receivers at the top of your screen. A couple of running backs split alongside the quarterback. Looked like a busted play.
Miscue.
Indeed. He tried to give it to one of the running backs who did not realize it was for him.
Still got 5 out of it. Right?
Exactly. Kelly makes something out of nothing there.
Hey, I'll take 5 yards any day. Or he was at 4. 4, I'm okay with that too. Was that? Or maybe it was 6.
Almost at midfield, just shy of the 49-yard line. Second down and 4 for the Highlanders as Kelly gets the key. Kelly gets the play flashed in from his head coach, Brian Roberson. Riders in what looks like a 3-4 defense.
Yes, they are. So, hey, let's see what the edge is bringing right here. One's blitzing. Yep. No covers there. Nah. Boys up front got to do their job. You can't take 2 steps forward and 5 steps back.
Martin with a big loss on that play. Ball will be spotted at just shy of the 45-yard line. So they mark it down as a loss of 3 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Highlanders.
3rd down. Do they send everybody? I think they're going to do a little twist, blitz. See what happens. Put the pressure on, see what you got.
Single back alongside Kelly on 3rd and 8. Muffs the snap, and Kelly is going to be brought down.
Oh, if he wouldn't have rolled out, he had nice protection in the middle. He had nice protection.
Instead, it winds up being a loss back to about the 38, 39-yard line. And McLane's drive, which began so impressively, stalls out. And they're going to have to punt this football away.
It's a nice job by the defense. Staying true, not over-penetrating.
Devontae Moultrie deep. Sets himself up at about the 25-yard line for this McLane punt.
Careful the time, coach.
Trying to shuttle some people in. Burgess back to do that.
Nice kick.
Moultrie lets it bounce. Now he's going to take it, and he's got some running room. Cuts to the near side. Around end, he's got a lot of room.
Taking it to the house.
Devontae Moultrie.
Nice
75 yards for a Roosevelt touchdown.
And just like last week, they're starting hot right now. What I'm noticing also with the referee, they did throw a flag.
Yeah, 45-yard line, there's a flag. What did you see? If it might have been a hold.
Because even on over here by the 30 and 40, there are some questionable blocks.
It is indeed a hold. It's coming back. Impressive run back by Devontae Moultrie, goes for naught. A holding call will bring the ball back.
Well, that's a nice little highlight for the young man's reel.
Terrific. Absolutely. Frustrating, no doubt, for the coaching staff to see such a big play brought back by a hold.
Yes, and quite frankly, when your season hasn't gone as well as you wanted to go in the first place, you're easily brought into a hole. And so it's going to be nice to see what this defense is going to do right now. Are you going to hold true, or are you going to go back in that hole?
Rough Riders coming out on the field for their first play of the night, and the junior quarterback, Jordan De La Rosa. And the give goes to Daniel Love.
Nice job by the defense.
Picks up about a yard. Bit of extracurricular activity going on here. And
56 did a nice job of blocking. 64 just got a little upset. That's finishing your block.
Indeed.
McLane's definitely stacking that box. I'm not sure how long they're going to keep that with De La Rosa.
Well, you're right, and that's been one of the changes that has happened as he has gotten his confidence up. The better he has thrown, the more productive they've been in the passing game. Defenses have not been able to stack the middle on him, and that has given Daniel Love more running room the last couple of weeks. Once again, give goes to Love as he stutter steps looking for a hole.
Nice job by the defense once again. See, at this point, if you're going to stack the box like that, maybe one way is not to so much to blitz. They blitz 2 plays in a row. It's almost like let the boys in the front play. Let them close the gaps. Let them come to us.
And it's interesting to see how they are very successful thus far at stopping the run. And Vernell Sessions, their big nose guard, a 310-pounder, who's a terrific run stopper in the middle, is not in the lineup for this first series. So 3rd down 9 for the Rough Riders at the 47-yard line. They're on 47 as Jordan De La Rosa drops back to throw, flings it out to the near side. Ball bounces in the turf, just shy of his receiver.
Great
and that
protection.
will bring up a 4th down.
Yeah. But that's something to build off of. That series right there, that's okay. I can live with that. Because that De La Rosa as a competitor, I can see him shaking his head right now. He'll get it back. He'll get it going.
Romero to punt the football away, deep for the Highlanders to receive this punt. Brian Burgess last week took a kick to the house for a touchdown. And Brian Roberson told us before the game he's very pleased with the improved play of his special teams over the last couple of weeks.
Special teams most definitely can win, make or break.
Taken at the 25.
Good field
and
position.
We've got a penalty flag down on that return as he brought it out to about the 37-yard line. We'll see what the call is and where this means Roosevelt's second drive will start from.
McLane.
McLane's drive. Penalty is on the Highlanders, in fact, so it won't start from as good a field position. As you look at it again, see if we can pick up where the penalty was.
Oh. It's okay, I already got my teams mixed up once. Fresno, Sunnyside.
The old block in the back, it looks like. As this gets marched up and they reconfigure the chains on the far sideline. The march will take it back to the McLane 29-yard line, where the Highlanders will start their second possession of the night. Give goes to Martin.
It's actually a nice call. You had both DBs playing so far back, and also you had the two deep free safeties. You're trying to get a couple blocks right there, open that seam up. That's a 5-6 yard run right there.
Khalil Martin this year coming in, he'd rushed for 283 yards. He has scored 4 of McLane's touchdowns. McLane has 6 touchdowns for the season. Martin has scored 4 of them, and he is currently 5th in the North Yosemite League in rushing as he comes into tonight's game.
Yeah, that points fielded, points allowed column. That one kind of hurts a little bit.
Indeed. Julian Kelly up under center. You don't see this too much anymore. Usually they're from the pistol or the shotgun as a delayed give to Martin. And a big, big burst up the middle, crossing the 40-yard line. First down for the McLane Highlanders.
And there it is, talking about all he needs that little seam right there. And that line that time did a fantastic job.
Very quick first step got him through.
It almost goes to, for a team like this that's learning how to win, that's learning how to be successful, keep going until they stop you. Why not? You have nothing to lose, really. Not trying to be mean, it's just you want to try to build off success.
Indeed. Highlanders with their second first down of the night. They're now at the 43-yard line. 3 wide receivers coming to the near side. Martin back and goes in motion to the top of your screen. Julian Kelly. Flushed out of the pocket. Under pressure.
Completed. And completed.
Burgess across midfield to the Roosevelt 44.
Yeah, they're bringing on those edges pretty hard.
Nice job maintaining his composure under pressure. He knew out of the corner of his eye that pursuer was coming, and a big hit was just a split second away, and he got rid of it. Had a wide open receiver in the middle of the field, and we have a Roosevelt player down.
You know, I see Kelly on the open field, but I want to see that. I want to see him take it to the house. I want to see what he can do in the open field. He's got a good eye.
Indeed, he does.
So looking at this, so if you are Brian right now, Coach Roberson, you saw they're coming out the edges pretty hard. First and second down. You know, your linemen are getting some good seams. You run it up the middle, or you try to spread it out. What do you think?
Well, you run it right up the middle. You keep going with Khalil Martin up the middle until they stop it.
Precisely. You know, save your quarterback a little bit. Let him stop you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What is it they say? You know, do what the defense gives you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hope this young man's okay. There we go. So, Jet Li Sr. I'd like to see Junior.
Jet Li coming off the field with the assistance of the training staff.
There you go, young man.
Armando Reyes trots out to replace him in the Rough Rider defense. Julian Kelly brings the offense back up to the line of scrimmage. They have now worked their way into Roosevelt territory at the 45-yard line. 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Khalil Martin, the lone back. And now he goes in motion to the top of your screen.
Oh, and the crisscross throw open. Oh. There you go. That's some athletic. That's what I wanted to see.
Stiff arms the defender. Oh,
that's making a play.
Tremendous catch down to the 23-yard line.
That's almost a highlight.
What a play.
I think Mr. Kelly heard me on my last play that I wanted to see him in the open field do something special.
Jakari Fisher hauls that one down impressively, bringing it down between a couple of defenders at the 23-yard line. We have a Roosevelt player down back at about the 43, being tended to. That stiff arm, watch the stiff arm there, buys him a little more time, knocks the defender off, and gives him just that split second or two that he needed to hit Jakari Fisher downfield.
There's some momentum.
Tremendous play right there.
Hey, looking down there, I think that's the next old Clovis East player right there. Let me go check that.
Well, the Rough Riders on the near sideline gathered in front of their coaches. The McLane players in front of Brian Roberson on the far side, as the trainers for the two high schools tend to the Roosevelt player who is down injured.
Yeah, when you have you don't have a lot of players on the team, and you're seeing some early on injuries, and we've got about we're still in the first quarter. That could change momentum pretty quickly. So I'm looking in the corner there. I see some breast cancer awareness still. Hey, that's really taken off. Breast cancer awareness.
Oh, they've done a great job.
Oh,
absolutely.
geez.
This is just terrific. The Roosevelt cheerleaders in front with their pink pom-poms and bows tonight for breast cancer awareness, and just a terrific job bringing that effort to light.
Yeah, I remember when it first started coming out and everyone was wearing pink, and there's a lot of people that were just pushing against it. Hey, now it's a popular thing.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be breast cancer awareness.
It's done everywhere. You see it everywhere from the National Football League to the high school level. Is everybody getting involved and knowing how terrible it is to individuals and families as well.
Yeah.
Coming
off. You know, Dan, that actually, if back in the day when I was coaching Roosevelt, that what you just saw right there was Ed Avila.
That's who that was.
Yeah, like, hey,
okay.
I better call his dad and say, hey, I'm over here. Come on to the booth.
Well, Armando Reyes, who just went back on for Jet Li, is the player who has come off injured now as McLane steps up to the football. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Martin, the lone running back, is Kelly up under center once again. And this time,
he's got a man open.
Now the screen was properly set up.
Good for 5.
Martin still churning against the defense before a couple of riders bring him down. Spot looks like it's going to be at about the 18-yard line. McLane pushing their way into the red zone. 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter of play. 2nd and 5 from the 18-yard line for the Highlanders. Julian Kelly coming in with a play from the sideline.
And definitely this is I would say this is successful for the McLean Highlanders right now.
Well, their confidence has to be growing immensely.
Oh, right, most definitely. Time of possession, they've had it pretty much the whole quarter.
Riders showing a blitz. Kelly is audibilizing.
Looks like a little bit of time.
May have lost track of the play clock. Indeed, a delay of game penalty will bring the ball back to the 24-yard line. I would say 23 and a half, but Fred Clark always tells me there is no half-yard line in football.
No half yard in football. No. It all counts. It all counts, buddy.
You bet.
Yeah, Fred, that lucky guy, he's in Colorado right now.
Yeah, we'd send greetings out to him, but we know he's not watching.
Exactly. So
back
he's having
home with
gonna
family.
Watch. Lucky guy.
And certainly our thoughts with Chris Terrence, who many of you who are followers of high school football here on CMAC. Chris recovering from recent surgery, and
that's
going
to
be a pass interference. Maxwell, a terrific talent, a sophomore in that secondary for the Riders, making contact just a little bit too soon.
He let his presence be known, like I was saying that before the game. Pretty intimidating player right there, but that is an unnecessary penalty and pretty much in the red zone.
Certainly makes up for the yards just lost on the delay of game penalty, and then some. But yeah, we want to wish our friend Chris Terrence well up in Oregon, recovering from surgery and knee replacement surgery. The things that guy will do to try and dunk a basketball again at his age.
But he can
I
dunk.
Can't get over it.
He can do it. The mind says yes, the body says no.
We're thinking about you, Chris.
To the goal line.
Penalties marched off, brings it down to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that Chris and Fred, doing a high school football, those guys right there for the longest time have done such a great
outstanding.
They've done such a great job for the community. Kind of like CMAC Sports. Look at CMAC Sports right now. Broadcasting this through, because if you're a parent of one of these players, you're just going to record this.
It means a lot. Absolutely does.
20 years down the line.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Julian Kelly out of the shotgun, flings it to the far side. Therese trying to get around the corner, and he's pulled down.
Looks like Kelly's getting settled down. He's making good decisions, good throws. Hey, why not open the playbook right now?
Ball will be spotted at the 5-yard line. 2nd down and 5. A minute 44 and counting here in the first quarter from McLane Stadium. Roosevelt High trying to keep McLane High out of the end zone. Highlanders knocking at the door. 2nd and 3 from the 6-yard line. Kelly with a give to Martin.
Good for a couple.
Minute 20 remaining as Kelly goes back toward the bench. Have a brief conference with his head coach and get the next play.
You know, watching these two teams right now, we know they're going to be pretty much evenly matched. But me personally, I thought Roosevelt was going to come a little bit hotter. Now they're very capable of big plays, so I expect that to come down the line. But this is really good. This is I'd consider this a nice win so far for or a moral win for Coach, because I have a feeling they're going to punch it in right now.
Kelly up in under center. The pitch to Martin. 2 defenders knock him back, and he goes out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
I think those 2 defenders were untouched.
Indeed.
So we have 4th down. Is that the special unit or the kicking unit?
That's what I'm trying to figure. I know they've gone through some changes on that kicking team.
I just saw bodies.
4th and 5 from the 6-yard line. The Highlanders planning to go for it. And they're going to take a timeout.
Oh, if they would have got that snap off right now, they were loaded in the box. There's a lot of green. A lot of green to the right.
So McLane is going to huddle up around their coaching staff, come up with a play to try and capitalize on this situation. A tough spot at the 4th down, but they're at the 6-yard line. Knocking at the door, want to take advantage of that big play that brought them into the red zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would just go for a field goal right now. Just get some points on the board. Just get something. End of the quarter.
Roosevelt defensive staff having some discussions with their players, no doubt trying to make some adjustments. They have been burned in a couple of big plays, and they've really been, as we now come to the close of the first quarter, that wraps up our first quarter of play here from McLane Stadium. The Roosevelt High Rough Riders nothing, McLane nothing, but McLane knocking at the door. It's a 4th and 5 at the 6-yard line as they head to the west side of the stadium.
I'm actually quite surprised, 0-0. That's good. It's a good battle.
We have seen a little bit of everything in the first quarter. A couple of busted plays that turned into big plays. Seen Julian Kelly read the blitz well and evade the blitz.
Oh, here's our swinging gate, right?
And they have only had this in the playbook for about 10 days.
Oh, what do we have here? Another one?
Judging by the body language on the far sideline, somebody was not lined up right.
Someone's a little upset right now, too.
Just
Arms
a little
crossed. You know who used to be really good at that swinging gate was Pat Plummer.
Is that right?
Well, Pat Plummer, but Rick Lyons.
Okay.
Rick Lyons, who coaches over at Fresno City right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that dang Rick Lyons. Oh, that 2-point conversion.
They're over Hoover, is that
it's
right?
It's okay, but so you take that page out of their playbook and put it in yours. That's great. You know, one of the old greats over at Roosevelt, Gus Short, longtime coach, longtime assistant coach, and he convinced me finally. I think it was the 2nd year, and he said, "Hey, coach, just put this polecat, the AKA swinging gate." And, as to break up the monotony during practice, we just kept on doing it, and we're having fun with it. So I remember one of the funnest times that we were playing Washington Union, we did it in the middle of the field. It was awesome. And we got some yards. So I'm a firm believer in the swinging gate polecat.
Great.
Yes.
That's great.
So Gus Short, if you're out there, that's a plug for you, buddy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Fourth down, 6 to go at the 7-yard line. Julian Kelly brings the Highlanders up.
Coming
and they
hard
are
off the
spread
edge.
out. 3 receivers at the top of the screen. Martin to his left, the lone back in the backfield.
Oh, he's open. Touchdown.
Touchdown is signaled. Once again, Martin flushed out of the pocket, rolls out, finds his man, and it's a Highlander touchdown.
Is that a stiff arm or a throwdown he did?
I think it was a throwdown. They're on the opposite side, a little tough for us to see, but tremendous catch over there. Jakari Fisher once again, the guy who made the huge catch over 2 defenders that got him down toward the red zone. And here you see Kelly once again scrambling to the far side. And actually it was Ricardo Arias who makes the diving catch and just managed to stay in bounds.
Yes.
And the Highlanders are going to go for 2.
Hey, there we go. There's a 2-point conversion, swinging gate again.
Kelly on the run, stopped short.
Looks like he gave it to him.
Oh, they did give it to him. Looked like he was stopped just short, I guess.
Oh,
he got in.
Is that a happy coach right there?
It's got to be
a
right
happy
now.
coach. 8-0. Yeah. So this is going to be a nice battle. So you have 2 contrasting quarterbacks. You have a pocket quarterback, and you've got a scat back quarterback.
Well, Kelly has definitely taken advantage of his running speed and made some things happen. Their defense, you wonder if this was a challenge to Kelly to try to prove what he could do, because he has certainly surprised people. He's had to stiff arm his way free of some on-rushing linebackers. He's managed to get around the edge a couple of times and get passes off. He's been very impressive here thus far.
You know what it is, Dan? What it is, it's the cameras. He's got people watching.
That'll always do it.
I'll get my people watching. Stand a little taller, run a little faster.
Well, we chatted with him before the game. He was a bit emotional. Senior night, his parents were going to be here. He was pretty excited about that. Certainly a 4-year member of this McLane program, and it was a little bit of a sad time for him as Highlanders now prepare to kick off, and that'll be David Pereira doing the kicking. Maxwell. Coming to the near side and flung down at about the 35-yard line.
Good field position. All right, fellas, how do you respond? Where do we go? Yeah, by the replay, had some nice blocks there.
The sophomore, very talented young running back, Maxwell, in the backfield alongside De La Rosa.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, most definitely. You get him in the open field, he's going to score 6.
Maxwell takes it right up the middle. Tough to bring down, but he's pulled down around the ankles at the 42-yard line.
You know, last week was, I called him, I said he was turning butter. His legs would not stop. So let's see what happens tonight.
Maxwell comes out. The scat back Daniel Love goes in.
Almost an offsides. Offsides on that defensive end. Looks like number 11 there.
Looks a little over anxious on that play.
Dead ball, encroachment, 55 McLane. Still second down.
I don't know if that was a replay, but it looked like number 11, Herrera. Little anxious.
Moves the ball up 5 yards to the Roosevelt 46-yard line. Riders with a pair of receivers at the bottom of your screen and 2 receivers at the top of the screen. De La Rosa going to throw it, but he's under some pressure. He evades pressure. Crosses midfield, takes it out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
Good idea. Hey, I'll give it to the McLane defense. They had everybody covered.
They did. Absolutely made him have to
flush him out.
Have to do that, but he showed that he can get out of the pocket quick, take advantage of the open space, and pick up a first down. 1st and 10 for Roosevelt at the McLane 44. Maxwell back in to the lineup. The lone setback, and he takes the handoff and is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Nice tackle by Herrera. That's something to celebrate that to go, boy.
And just look at that Roosevelt defense. That McLane defense. They are fired up. You're seeing a lot of emotion out of them. Didn't see that the last couple of weeks.
True.
The more success they have, the more their confidence grows, the more their enthusiasm comes out, and you're seeing it out there. They are one happy and excited bunch.
You know, some things that come into play also with when your records aren't exactly how they're supposed to be, and this has a long-standing, I won't say a rivalry with McLane and Roosevelt, but they're so used to each other. There's that familiarity with pretty much the outcomes of the game. So you kind of take chances more so than a bigger game.
Moultrie hoping that the blockers would have set up a little bit better for him. He comes down at the 49-yard line. Tried to work that ball out to him as quick as they could. Brian Roberson on the far side watching as his defense pursued well on that play to stop that attempt. They looked as though they were trying to set up some sort of a screen out on the near side.
Right.
And
didn't develop. We got one deep right here.
3rd and 10 from the 48.
And he was open. That's another short throw.
And De La Rosa knows it as he grabs his helmet in frustration.
That's a second throw to his left that he's been short.
And that brings up a 4th down. Roosevelt to punt this ball away.
So if you're McLane right now, you've got to be feeling pretty good. Your defense stops him. Now you're going to get the ball back, pretty much get some good field position.
Burgess deep to field this punt. Romero to punt it from about the 36-yard line. Low line drive.
Burgess he escapes.
He's got
the outside.
Room. Dragged down, and a penalty flag comes flying.
Oh, Coach. It's okay. I think Coach saw the penalty right and just beelined him.
A little bit of tough love to one of his players there.
It's good passion. Players know it. Players know they messed up, but they want to see some passion out of that coach.
This will be a full 2.
And Brian's always been one of those guys.
Well, and he recognizes it's a teaching moment.
Yes, most definitely. It's like the trick today, with education. You've got to discipline, but you also got to pick him up. Find that fine line in between both. Got to be a balance.
Penalties march back to the 23-yard line, where the Highlanders will begin this possession.
Probably want to change the mark instead of 4th down. There we go.
Oh, a nice block as the tailback Martin picks up about 6-7 yards on that carry.
Yeah, look at the Roosevelt defense. They're really bringing the house in the front line, bringing those edges. It's almost use that to your advantage right now. Oh, maybe it looks like they have. They got, 8 yards out of that?
Take another look here as he goes right around that end and had a nice hole to pick up a few yards.
Being aggressive creates those angles.
Brings up 2nd and 3 from the 30-yard line, just inside 9 minutes till halftime. This time, Kelly will work from the shotgun. 2 backs in the backfield along with him. And the left tackle moved a little bit too soon.
And getting a little lecture from one of the players. Oh, those hurt.
Highlanders will try it again from the 25-yard line. Kelly back in the pistol. He's got Martin behind him. And he's throwing. And he's got a receiver who has beaten the defenders.
Great effort. That was a nice ball. Very nice ball.
Indeed. Just off the fingertips of Ricardo Arias. So close to a big play for the Highlanders. And one I am sure that their coaches are saying, we're going to come back with that later.
Yeah.
Because it was there.
I think Brian's going to slap on a uniform and say, hey, here's how I do it.
Well, I think Julian Kelly would probably be told just a little bit more air under that football.
Yeah, not much, because that young man had some speed
had it
going
out
on there.
He got by those 2 defenders, and that is something that will be filed away for future reference. 3rd down and 8 from the 25-yard line for the Highlanders. 8:27 remaining here in the second quarter of play at McLane Stadium. The hosts up 8-0 on the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Kelly dropping back, fires to the near side, complete.
And
First down. And he's going to get additional yardage. Oh, we've got a problem down here. A little bit too much emotion shown on the sideline here.
Just a little bit. See if we can see that on the replay. Is that Fisher?
Jakari Fisher made a terrific catch and turned it up, picked up the first down, and then just a little bit too much emotion on that Roosevelt bench when Fisher tried to get up and head back out onto the field.
A little extracurricular activity.
I would think with a punch thrown, Jojo, you may know better having been through wars on the sideline.
Oh.
I think you're going to see an ejection.
You might see an ejection. Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. You got to get those sidelines under control. That can put you downtown real fast. Yeah. It's almost that's when the referees come to you and say, hey, coaches, calm your guys down. The hardest part is not to retaliate.
Indeed.
I don't know, if you get pushed in the face like that in a game like this, it's kind of hard to not throw something back.
Well, you started out with a late hit. He was already out of bounds and then was flung to the ground. You had one penalty flag come out for that.
Yeah, that wasn't necessary.
And then something must have been said on the bench. Not going to speculate, but something happened because then you had Keem Sears, who was on the sideline, not in the game at that time, come back and with a pretty hard shove on Jakari Fisher. The officials are out there having a discussion about this and what they are going to impose, whether it be just a penalty or whether we're going to see some sort of disciplinary action taken toward the offending player.
Well, the tackling itself on the sideline, that was a little questionable. But that extracurricular hit out there and a shove in the face, no. Unacceptable.
Well, the penalty flag came out very, very quickly. The player obviously had been ridden out of bounds and was a couple of yards out of bounds before he was flung to the ground. And that penalty flag came out very fast. The officials now coming over to the sideline. Probably going to have a conversation with Adolf Harris, the Rough Riders head coach.
They will offset. 1st and 10 at the 40.
First down. See what they're going to do here. I thought he signaled first down there, or does it?
Very interesting. Offsetting personal foul penalties.
Because he got the first.
Indeed.
There he is. Yeah, so it was offsetting penalties first down.
I'm a little confused on that one as far as offsetting. I must have missed something because I didn't see what the McLane player did.
Oh, no, he threw the ball at him. He threw the ball at the guy that shoved him. After the hit. So
but he had, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. My math is a little off then. Being shoved counted as a penalty.
If I'm Brian right now, I'm just like, I'm glad I got a first down out of it.
Absolutely.
Change that yard marker to first down.
If I'm a Keem Sears, I'm glad I'm still in the game.
Woo, dodged a bullet on that one, Coach.
Absolutely.
Can I do it again?
Waiting for the officials to signify that we're back in play as we're 1st and 10 at the McLane 40-yard line. 8-0 Highlanders sitting on top here. 8:19 to go in the second quarter. Julian Kelly, the quarterback, from the pistol. Martin in motion to the near side. Kelly automobilizing. 3 receivers. Kelly's going to take it himself.
Holding.
Another penalty flag coming out. You're absolutely right. It's probably that.
Oh.
And Kelly is slammed to the ground on the far sideline, and 3 more penalty flags come flying.
Oh, and another one.
And another one. Whew. Things getting a little chippy out there, I would say.
Just a little bit. Like the 4th of July with all those flags out there. You know, this is one of the hardest things to do is when you have the young men and you're trying to build character. and you have they're good. I'm glad he's calling his team together. Fantastic job, Coach. Is that this is the learning process for both of them, because this is something to build off of. Because when they see film, I'm sure they're going to pay the penalty of practice. They will pay the penalty.
That's usually how it works.
All right.
That's Brandon Reyes having a conversation with one of the
We've got
McLane
dead
assistant
ball.
coaches.
Personal foul,
Personal
late
foul,
hit.
the call.
Number 2, White. We also have a dead ball.
Against Roosevelt.
Personal foul. Number 5 on the bench.
Offsetting personal foul penalties.
Penalties will offset again. Second down.
Second down.
Yeah, this is one of those times. I hate to see the momentum of a game go out the window, because it was getting good, especially for McLane.
Absolutely. They really had a good roll of steam going, a good drive.
This is one of those things that could definitely just set you back. Now momentum goes the other direction. Because I couldn't see it from the far side, but it looked like there were a lot more flags that were thrown there.
Well,
than
even
over
another
here.
one that came late. It was almost as if you had 3 different penalties that happened. And now we have a hold against the Highlanders.
But I will admit, though, as a coach, there are certain times where some penalties are good penalties. And when I say that, I have to put that in context where I want to see something out of a particular player, or I want to see something out of my defense, or out of something out of my offense. I'm okay with it. Just show me some life. But it's reeling him back in. It back in. Now let's harness it. Now let's move forward.
And we saw Adnaf Harris quickly bring his team around him on the near sideline, and very emotional discussion from the Roosevelt head coach to his young team. So now it's 1st and 20 at the 30-yard line for McLane. 3 receivers to the near side. Kelly up under center.
They're really going to put the pressure on here.
Martin on the draw. Brought down to the line of scrimmage.
Hit one man to beat. He had room. That was a good call.
Absolutely. Saw that blitz coming and took advantage of it.
Except for the one guy he ran into.
Take another look at it as he is flung down to the turf.
And what's going to be nice is that during the offseason, they have a lot of things they can grow upon. They're going to learn the coach's system. Now I don't know if they're going to bring other coaches in or not, but now you're going to have that time to bond. Now you're going to have that time to do off-season workouts.
Absolutely.
Because some of those cuts right there, follow your blocks, but shoot, that comes in time, most definitely.
Kelly out of the pistol. Martin in motion to the top of your screen. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Quick toss, trying to set up a screen. Bouncing off a couple of tacklers, and it looks as though he picks up about 7 or 8 out to the 38-yard line.
That's a nice pickup.
Absolutely.
Oh, another flag. I wonder if that was a late flag. That wasn't there a second ago. But I'll give it to Roosevelt. Hey, they're sticking with their defense. They're putting a lot of pressure on.
Roosevelt players signaling
Did you have a number?
that the penalty will be on the Highlanders.
A 5-yard or is that a 15-yard face mask? It was an egregious face. It's a first
Personal
down.
foul, face mask against the defense.
Interesting that the Roosevelt
First
players
down.
were pointing at McLane as though it was going in that direction, and while they're pointing, it's being marched off.
It's a
the
Jedi
other
mind
way.
trick.
Absolutely.
Hey, ref, it's right here. It's those guys.
Takes it across midfield to the Roosevelt 45-yard line.
Every once in a while it
48-yard
happens.
line. Yeah.
And that's something that's taught. You do a fumble drill. You toss the ball, get your boys on it, and just have your guys jump in front of the ref and point directions. And and sometimes it does sway the decision. It is a drill.
1st and 10. Highlanders at the Roosevelt 48-yard line.
No signs of letting up on the defensive line.
Kelly with the keeper. He's got plenty of room to run. 1st down. Pulled down inside the 35.
It's almost a horse collar right there. He's got to be careful. On that talk about Maxwell.
Kelly is playing with more and more confidence every single snap.
If I'm McLane, I'm liking what Roosevelt's giving me because I've got a very highly athletic quarterback. If you want to come in, come in. I'll find a seam. It's
interesting. Kelly brings the play into the huddle. You're hearing more and more coaches say, do we really need to huddle anymore? We can signal plays in from the sideline effectively. We can save time, get the offense moving faster, put more pressure on the defense.
Yeah, you see
the game's changing.
It is definitely.
Kelly with twin backs alongside of him. There's that streak play again down the sideline, just off the hands of Reyes, I believe.
That was a very nice throw. You were talking about a moment ago how he put some air on that ball. He put some air on that ball.
That was Ricardo Reyes headed in the direction of that and just off the fingertips.
But looking at the wind, I think the wind took a little bit of that because I'm looking at the flags, and so I think that putting some of that air on that ball just carried it maybe 2 feet. Because as you look down here, that was about 1 foot away from him. He did it right. Nice route.
You're right. We do have a pretty good wind down there.
It's starting to rain. I can see the drops. There we go.
Yeah.
But we were forecasted.
Umbrellas coming up, hoodies coming up. People without both moving out of their seating area.
It's kind of cozy up here, Dan. What about you?
Absolutely. Second down 10. Kelly looking, set up a screen play.
Oh, nice
Martin
play.
Shirks the first tackler, not the second, and down he goes at the 35.
That looked like number 24, Ricky Valentine. Nice heads-up play. Hey, but not a bad call. You've got a very aggressive defense.
Yep.
Just let that ball float up in the air a little too much. That's when your receiver gets little alligator arms. See, this is where the game starts getting fun, in my opinion. The rain's starting to come down. The field gets a little bit more slippery. But it's like schoolyard ball. This is the fun stuff. This is where you're like, hey, I'm going to come back home all muddy.
Third down 10 from the 34-yard line, and the official tossing another flag. Delay of game.
I think this is a little painful for me because it brings back memories. Because that first year at Roosevelt, we had our fair share of yellow birdies. But they're all, like you said, they're all teachable moments. And sometimes you wish you could say, hey, can I take 30 seconds, guys? Let me tell my boys what's going on in the situation and what just happened right now.
Third
and the impact.
Third and 15 for the Highlanders at the Roosevelt 39-yard line. That's the way you got to look at it. Teachable moments. Otherwise, you'll tear your hair out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any hair. I'd be bald.
Kelly going deep. Reyes.
Double coverage. Hey, throw the flag.
Oh, that is interference there.
That
pair of flags coming out.
Didn't need it. See that? That penalty definitely wasn't needed. Those aren't good penalties by any means. Put your hands up. It was right in front of his face. You got great coverage on him. You're stuck on him.
Ricardo Reyes, the intended receiver, and there you see the Roosevelt
defensive
back. Cal involved in the pass interference call.
Pass interference. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That'll put the ball down inside the red zone. First and 10 for McLane.
I wonder what the time of possession is right now between McLane and Roosevelt. That's
correction. This will set the ball up at the 25-yard line. First and 10 Highlanders. 5:06 to play. Kelly with a pitch on the option. And Martin runs out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
Oh, there goes a flag. There it is. But who is that, number 2? Adam Argy? No.
Ricardo Reyes, the player for McLane,
did a nice job just putting his hands up. You know, it looks like the referee saw Roosevelt. He didn't retaliate. Oh, against McLane.
Okay. Well, those go against the Highlanders.
Full 3.
See this in the. I didn't
Full
think that.
3 from the end of the
run,
guys.
Didn't look like the right call, but
Martin knocked out of bounds.
He drags him down here, puts his hands up. Oh, see.
I think they may have missed that call.
They missed that call.
15 yards from the end of the run.
We had a nice view of it.
Absolutely.
Come on.
That'll march it. Go back a long way now.
That's a long way.
35-yard line.
Gonna repeat first down.
First and 20 yards for the Highlanders from the Roosevelt 35-yard line. Kelly will operate out of the shotgun. 2 backs.
Looks like they're offsides already. But oh. That could be on the defense for a little taunting to go and draw them offsides.
Second time we've seen the left tackle. Oscar Luna.
Yeah, 6'3", 270.
Got his signals crossed there, the senior. A lot of family here tonight for his senior night final home game as a McLane Highlander. As McLane takes timeout, and they'll huddle up around their coach. JoJo?
Yeah, so you know what, first and 25, but now you got 2 things working against you if you're Roosevelt. You got the clock. You know, that's going to come down to 4 minutes here real soon. They're still at first down. Let's just say they get, another 20 yards or so. That brings you down to 2 minutes, possibly. That man, your offense has been sputtering all night, so you know you're pretty much going to go on 4. It's a 4-down territory regardless. And who knows, if they don't get this first down right here and they kick it, Roosevelt gets it, they do a 3-and-out, they'll still get good field position with, maybe a little Hail Mary at the end of the half.
But we have 4:41 left until halftime. You were asking earlier about time of possession, which we don't happen to have in front of us, but McLane scored on the first play of this quarter.
Yeah.
Roosevelt was 3-and-out.
Yeah.
And McLane has had the ball ever since.
Yep.
As rain is beginning to fall once again here on McLane Stadium in Central Fresno. Highlanders trotting out after conferring with their coaches.
The confidence level of McLane's got to be pretty good right now.
Absolutely. First and 25 at the the Roosevelt 40-yard line. Highlanders operating out of the pistol. Martin the lone setback. 3 receivers at the top of your on the far sideline, and when we go to a wide shot, they'll be at the top of your screen. Again, Kelly's looking in their direction, tries to shirk and duck away from the linebackers that came in.
Couldn't escape that one that time.
Nope. He's shown a little magic previously. I think in about 3 weeks they're going to be the McLane High School Theater Arts Department is going to be putting on The Great Gatsby here on campus, and I think we're seeing the Great Kelly tonight.
The Great Kelly.
The way he is operating out of that backfield, but that was one time
he's on stage
where there was no magic.
Considering all the magic he's done thus far, I'll take one. But it's happened to be now you're third down and a whole bunch.
Yeah. You know, when the great Jim Ryan was competing in the mile for the University of Kansas, they asked the Kansas football coach if he ever thought about putting Ryan on the football team, and he said, yeah, when I have those third down and mile to go situations. We're at second and 34 as Kelly lets it fly to the far sideline. Batted down, but this may very well be pass interference.
Very much so. But you still need a lot.
That was Eric Arroyo showing some hops, getting up and batting that ball away.
That was
pass
good
interference to call against the Riders.
Good heads up football. Right. They're trying to smack it out. That was the right idea.
Yes.
But you didn't have to touch him.
So some of that yardage will come back, courtesy the penalty, pass interference.
Against the defense, 15-yard penalty. Still third down.
Penalty being marched
chipping away. There we go.
And it will be placed, it appears, at the Roosevelt 33-yard line.
So third and 20 is a lot better than third.
Second down 19 or third down 19. Where are we at here? Second down 19 at the 33-yard line.
Or 33 and a half, which one?
Fred's not here, so we can say it.
There we go.
And if he is watching on CMAC.tv, he probably just said some things about us that we're glad he's not here.
Yeah. I told him.
Timeout taken by Brian Roberson. A little bit of confusion on that setup there. And he's trying to get the attention of the official and not succeeding. So he brings his team around, as does the Roosevelt coaching staff to talk things over. 8-0 McLane here, 3:40 left until halftime on senior night at McLane Stadium.
And you got some background music.
Absolutely.
There it is.
A light rain falling here in central Fresno. Umbrellas coming out once again.
You know, the Roosevelt School of the Arts, fantastic program there.
Oh, it's amazing.
Fantastic.
They have so
Was
many.
that there when you were at Hoover?
No, I go way, way back. No, that is a tremendous program that Roosevelt has, their theater arts program, and such esteemed graduates of that program as Audra McDonald, just to name
Very
one.
true.
And
Very
all of her
true.
outstanding accomplishments on Broadway. She's the only actor ever to have won Tonys in every one of the categories.
Oh, wow, I
And
didn't know that.
Came out of that great program. Her father, the late Stanley McDonald, a longtime Fresno Unified administrator, an outstanding discus thrower when he was the track and field competitor at Edison High School, the state champion.
Third down.
3rd and 19 at the 33 with 3:40 remaining here in the second quarter from a very wet McLane Stadium. Julian Kelly did not get it off in time.
Player down.
One of the McLane offensive linemen went down on that and a little slow to get up.
Oh, maybe got stepped on. Let's just hope that was the case. No cramps.
Signaling that he is okay.
Ben Real, 6'1", 200-pounder. God, these kids are getting big. I guess we can say that every year. There's always a few outliers here and there.
And there always have been. I kid that, yes, I did go to Hoover quite a long time ago, but at that time in the city, there were two tremendous linemen at Hoover. We had Rod Horn, who was about 6'6", Pat Plummer's brother-in-law.
Oh, wow.
Who went on and was an All-American at Nebraska and played in the Super Bowl for the Cincinnati Bengals on the defensive line. And at Fresno High was a guy named Pat Howell, who
remember that name.
Rod and Pat were 2/5 of the Parade All-America offensive line that year in the 1974 season.
Now, did his son, didn't he go to USC? Is that
And Nick
Howell?
did. Nick played
Howell,
at USC
right?
and with the Tennessee Titans, and his dad played a number of years when the Titans were the Houston Oilers. So they both had pro careers in the same organization. And
you know, his sister Lauren Howell's one of our
volleyball
teachers.
player.
Oh yeah, very athletic young lady.
Yes. Initially went to Pepperdine out of Bullard High School. Kelly on the keeper,
oh,
bouncing off a couple of tacklers and not pulled down until he is at about the 26-yard line.
That's one of those you got to definitely lower your shoulders. Standing up too high, you become a real big target.
Absolutely.
We'll see, there we go again. Now the clock is running. You know, is it 4th down? Why not take a penalty, delay of game, and then move it 5 yards back, give you more room, kick it. That brings you down to basically 3 minutes.
We're very close to 3 minutes right now.
3:05. They're going for it.
4th and 14 from the 28-yard line.
Oh, wow. They came to play.
Split backs alongside Kelly. Two receivers at the top of your screen as Kelly is coming out firing.
Oh!
Looking for Jakari Fisher. And the pass sailed wide.
Let's just say the ball was slippery on that one because he was wide open on the comeback route.
It was a good play call.
Yes, very good.
Roosevelt will take over on downs at the 28-yard line. And this series, we see Vernell Sessions, the big nose tackle, come in for McLane. As if that's what they're expecting the Riders to do, is run the football. 8-0 our score. McLane on top.
I always like watching this situation and asking the question. So you have a couple minutes left. You play hard, you play soft, keep someone deep. You know, different schools of thought, but I like the way coach is going right now.
4 receivers.
Attack him. There it is.
De La Rosa flushed from the pocket.
And he's going. A lot of room to run.
Indeed. First down for Roosevelt as he gets out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
They had an opportunity to get him right there. That was a nice pass rush.
Flushed into the far side to his weak side, but he was able to tuck it up, run, and pick up probably 15 yards. Brings it to the 42-yard line is where they will spot the ball. And it's 1st and 10 Roosevelt.
This is almost one of those opportunities where they have to go 60-plus yards or 60 yards. Play soft on the edges. Just make sure you just keep inside the pocket. Put your hands up. Let the rest of your defense do its job. Flush them.
2:41 until the half. Daniel Love looking for a seam, finds it, pushes his way up to midfield.
I think that was number 52, Ben Real. Then Ben Real did a nice job of slowing him down. He was holding on to that young man. Oh.
You have a Rough Rider who gets up limping. He will come off.
Oh, that was number 11. He's holding on, slowing him down.
Adam Aragon replaced by Austin Pham.
Oh. I thought he called timeout there for a moment. Nope, still going.
Brings a 2nd down and 3 at the Roosevelt 49-yard line.
The 2 timeouts left?
De La Rosa brings his team to the line.
Yeah.
Coach, you were pointing out 2 left. He lets fly. He's got a receiver. Holds it in at the 12-yard line.
Nice concentration. Wow, Moultrie?
Moultrie, yes, Moultrie.
Way to run that route. Way to be patient. That is replay worthy.
That is his go-to guy.
Yes, it is.
Andre Moultrie with a nice catch on the run. Ball's at the 13-yard line.
And like we were talking before about your skill positions, he has a nice running back, nice receiver. You've got options, and it's time to keep putting it together.
Oh, he's got plenty of running room on the far side, trying to cut back, and he is pulled down, and that may be a horse collar tackle.
And a face mask. Oh, look, he's signaling face mask. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, but a little high. Probably not the best way to go take someone down.
Personal foul, face masking, you're right, JoJo, that is the call. So the coach got it. Face mask is going to march him even closer to the end zone. 1:44 to go.
That hurts. This is where I'd go pulling my hair out.
Foul, face mask against the defense.
Penalties can do it.
Oh, yes.
Penalties are the type of thing that drives coaches into administration work.
Hey, a.k.a. myself.
First one's head at the 13-yard line. 1:44 left of the half. Riders trying to get on the scoreboard.
And he's open.
Pulls it back. He's got a man. And he pulls his way over for the touchdown.
He had options out there. He had definite options.
Austin Pham, the junior tight end, takes that pass in and scores it to get Roosevelt on the board.
Hey, but going for 2 earlier for Coach Roberson, good
call.
move.
Good call.
Looks like they're going to go for 1.
Moultrie to hold, Romero to try to split the uprights and add an extra point on here and cut the gap from 2 to 1.
Oh.
The cadence is a team's hidden weapon.
Oh, yes, it
So
is.
few quarterbacks, so few centers, so few holders recognize that and take advantage of that.
See the movement?
And we saw it in execution there as they were able with a good altered cadence to draw the Highlanders off sides.
Yep. The good thing about high school football, all you need is movement. Doesn't matter if you go back or not. You get that movement, thank you. Now here comes the offense.
So now Harris going to try for 2 here. See if he can even the score up. McLane leading at 8-6. Riders have just punched over their first score of the night. They're now going to go for 2 to try and tie things.
So they're going to run it. If I was at De La Rosa, I'm not sure if I'd just do a flood. He had many options. Oh, maybe
well, we did see a flood, but it wasn't the one you were thinking of. It was the McLane defense flooding the Roosevelt backfield. Extra point fails.
A sea of red, and not in the biblical sense.
And our score now with 1:39 remaining in the second quarter. It's the McLane Highlanders 8, Roosevelt 6 here on CMAC. Glad you're with us here on CMAC Sports as we bring you high school football. This is our 4th broadcast so far this season. We've had some terrific games. And this will be our final game this season.
Oh, it's got to
on
end?
CMAC. Yeah, it's been a fun season. Our congratulations to the McLane students that are on cameras and in the truck, getting that firsthand knowledge, and that's what CMAC is all about. Check out our website at cmac.tv to learn how you can come down, attend classes, participate in production work, develop shows, and get hands-on training and education that can help you to move into the broadcasting industry.
I'm sure they'll give some shots at the cameramen, because these cameramen, specifically the students right now, need extra in the rain.
They've done a great job. The pictures are looking great. They're out there in the rain. Yes.
In the rain.
The Community Media Access Collaborative. And, of course, Jerry Lee is the executive director of CMAC. Jerry, a great guy, has a great sportscasting background in his own right. Riders pop this one deep.
Oh, this has potential.
And they're going to bring it out.
Oh, he did get the block.
He's got a little bit of blocking, but he's not going to get beyond the 20-yard line.
Just run. Don't dance. Just run.
Tough lesson at the high school level.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Usually that kicks in by the time they get to play college ball. But at the high school level,
schoolyard.
Exactly. Hasn't quite sunk in yet. Remnants of flag or touch football.
Oh, yeah.
So the Highlanders will put it in play, first and 10 at the 20-yard line, leading 8-6 with 1:31 to go until halftime. Fans directly below us imploring the Roosevelt defense to stop this drive and maybe get one more crack at the end zone before halftime. Kelly.
And he's got room to throw.
Rushed.
Nice.
Jakari Fisher on the far side, steps out of bounds,
Good.
close to the first down. Let's see where they're going to mark it.
Minute 23.
And indeed, it looks as though they're going to give him a first down.
For me right now, not a bad time to take a shot down the field.
Well, we've seen a couple of the receivers, Arias and Fisher, able to get by defenders, and the throws have just been.
Hey, when you're playing man defense and you know your athlete's a little bit faster than their athlete, go for it.
Kelly on the keeper. Trying to pull away. It looks as though he lost the football.
Oh, scoop and score.
They're going to down the football.
Ooh, he dodged a bullet on that one. See if we can get a replay on that one.
Ball did come loose, and let's see on the replay if we can.
45's not letting that thing go. I think he's going to bronze it.
Yeah, Jet Li wants that football. He wants that souvenir.
Yeah. Nice heads-up play by that young man.
Officials imploring the clock to continue rolling, and it looks as though the Highlanders maintain possession. Ball did come loose.
That thing popped out. That's a gift.
And I don't think the fans are too happy with the call.
Yeah. Maybe that's a giving for that 15-yard penalty. Oh. Whoa.
Highlanders retain possession.
What just happened?
It's a very interesting question.
They got yardage out of that.
Kelly up under center with a give to Martin. Picks up a couple before he's brought down just shy of the 35-yard line.
No timeouts left, Coach.
Otnoff Harris working the sidelines, clearly not happy, and we're certain that it's got to be about that fumble call, that he thought his team had a gift.
Yes.
In the waning seconds. 20 seconds to go here until halftime. Highlanders remain huddled up, waiting for their quarterback to come out and bring the play call.
I'm not sure they're going to get it off.
I don't think so either. Headed up to the line of scrimmage, 12 seconds. Just a couple of seconds to go here. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and I don't think they're going to get this play off. They're just going to walk off to the locker room, and that's halftime with our score. The McLane High School Highlanders 8, the Roosevelt Rough Riders 6. Brian Roberson having some words for his players, and potentially Otnoff Harris is out having words on the field with the officials, and he may have good reason to, because it looked on our screen as though that ball came out before the.
Yeah, that was a gift. But then again, that could be a callback. I don't know, because this one over here, this 15-yard penalty, may be offsetting. But, as we're seeing it's raining, I hope it doesn't pour. When I say it pour, that's definitely a metaphor for the McLane team.
We're going to take it to halftime. Our score, as you see it up on the screen, Highlanders 8 and the Rough Riders 6. And I think it's going to be a very interesting second half. We have seen some massaging of defensive strategy. We have seen some interesting offensive strategy. The teams in the rain here at McLane Stadium in Central Fresno, headed to the locker room. 8-6 our score. We will be back with much more from CMAC here at McLane Stadium after this.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume, no one abused you.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
CMAC empowers the members of the community to tell their story by offering them the opportunity to learn how to use video equipment, how to use the facilities we have to offer. CMAC is an organization that is devoted to allowing people to tell their stories. 99% of those organizations and individuals that have stories to tell have never been able to do it because they couldn't afford to. Now they can. CMAC empowers members of the community by offering them the opportunity to learn how to use all the wonderful equipment that we have available for them. And then once they've learned, using that equipment to create their own content.
The great thing about once someone has filmed and edited their video is that it is aired via Comcast and other channels, and this gives Arte Americas the opportunity to connect with outlying communities, people who may not have a chance to discover us any other way.
To see something that you've actually produced on a channel is fun for the first time, especially if you spent a lot of time with it. And it does take time to learn the programs.
Because you hear it all the time as a producer, we can help get you out there. But this is the real deal. There is no gimmicks, there are no type of games that they play. You produce the content, you follow the guidelines, it will air to the community and be an inspiration to the community.
CMAC is here to provide that venue. And it provides that venue to every aspect of the community, every part of the community. No one else does it that way. No one else offers that. The importance of CMAC's members cannot be overstated. CMAC is its members. We've trained hundreds of people, and we've already seen hundreds of stories, and the results of those stories are being felt in numerous ways.
I got involved with CMAC because a friend of mine already belonged, and we volunteered to film a fashion show. And because there were good classes for CMAC, they ran us all through all the instruments and equipment that we were going to be using. I felt good about the experience, and I felt really confident, and actually it was really a lot of fun too.
And the training is simple. You know, when I did it, I think I took 7 classes, and at the end of 7 classes, I got a certificate, and I started recording things. Anytime I've had questions, the staff here has been great, and they've given me the opportunity to try different things with whatever content I'm producing.
When I got around other members, seeing that they had different visions than I had, but that we could all partner together, it was just like a giant gumbo or a giant buffet of different ideas, different creators, but all with one purpose: to create quality content.
You can't do it all. You can't be the man in front and behind the camera for every production. CMAC needs volunteers because it's a community-based organization, and the more volunteers you have, the higher quality of production you can achieve in your program.
People can contribute to CMAC by just participating and coming up with your own clever ideas and coming to the functions, coming to the events.
I feel great about being able to send volunteers and people who are just connected with Arte Americas over to CMAC so they can develop their own art form. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another organization providing this level of resources here to the Valley to anybody who is interested, motivated, and wants to sign up. It's incredible. We love having them across the street, and they really are adding to what the Central Valley is providing.
CMAC is an outlet for anyone who wants to get their message or their skills or their artwork or whatever it is out into the community. It's a professional atmosphere where you can get the help that you need to be able to produce your program, and as a result, Fresno gets so much more to see and find out about.
I mean, when I see the smiles when people come through on orientation, or when they're hanging out in class, or seeing their projects being on the big screen in the lobby or on TV, that's magic. I mean, it's one thing to hope to do something, but it's another thing to help people fulfill and be that servant in the community. And that's what CMAC is. CMAC serves to help fulfill people's dreams.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm JoJo Reyes, back with CMAC Sports. And tonight we have with us the Vice Principal at McLane High School, Mr. John Kaup. Hi, Mr. Kaup, how are you doing today?
Good, how's it going? Thanks for coming out.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to trip over here. Well, as you can see, you know, it's a lot of rain coming down. Wasn't expecting it so early, but, you know, what do you think is going to happen tonight?
I have a feeling that McLane's going to beat Roosevelt, own Cedar for another year.
Now, why is that?
You know, we caught a little momentum last week against Reedley. Our defense picked things up, figured some things out. Our offense got going. Our passing game got going. Our running game got going. Our boys figured it out. We got a little confidence going into this week.
Well, that's fantastic. Last week you won your first game against Reedley, and so why don't you tell us a little bit about Reedley and maybe how about the culture is on campus right now with the students and having a big win?
Well, definitely a lot of excitement this week with our first win. Reedley, you know, got us going. The boys gave the coach a Gatorade bath at the end of the game. Well deserved for Coach Roberson's first win. Our campus, we couldn't be more excited right now. Our hype, as we call it around here, is strong. Just put a brand new sign up on the backside of our gym, 15 feet by 50 feet. You'll see that thing as you come down Clinton, Brandon, our school. And then this week we're finishing up brand new tartans all along our new academic classroom building up in the making that Scotty Pride show at our school.
The Scotty Pride, yes. So is anyone going to play the bagpipes tonight, or?
You know what? We have the pipers and dancers that come and they practice. They typically are here practicing. They do our graduation ceremony, which we do in the stadium. They typically don't come out when it's raining with the bagpipes for football.
So we've talked about a little bit about athletics and some culture around the campus. Are there any big things or any things that you're doing right now with students or with the school in the future that you like TV Land to know about?
So right now our big push with our student athletes is 3-sport athletes. Any kid that successfully completes 3 seasons of sport is having their Letterman jacket purchased by the school. So our kids are out in record numbers for fall sports. We expect to see that continue through the winter and spring.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, anything else you'd like to say before we close?
I just got to thank all the great people I work with, our athletic director, Javon Childs, our principal, Mr. Lamb. They make this all happen.
Yeah, Mr. Lamb's a good guy. I've known him for a while. But go ahead. With CMAC Sports, we'll be right back with the second half.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him.
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to McLane Stadium, where our halftime score, as you see on your screen, the hosts, the McLane Highlanders, leading the Roosevelt Rough Riders 8-6. These two teams have been meeting since 1959, back when McLane Stadium, McLane High School opened, and it's a wet, rainy McLane Stadium right now.
It is coming down right now. But look at the students. They're having a good old time over there.
Absolutely, having a great time across the way. And actually directly below us, the Roosevelt students here on the south side of the stadium. Let's take a look at the first half highlights and what led to this 8-6 score up on the scoreboard. As we see Roosevelt from a fourth down having to punt, but boy, what a terrific run back they get all the way back to nearly the 40-yard line. And Kelly, who you met in our pregame interviews, has been very impressive at quarterback.
Nice run.
But his running game has been terrific. Martin has just been very quick right up the middle. But look at Kelly on this one with a stiff arm to buy a little time and shirk off the defender. Then a terrific toss down to Harris, who holds it in between two defenders. That got him within scoring position. And here's another look from
stiff
behind.
Arm number 2 on the other side.
In this case, the toss and the diving catch for the touchdown. They went with a short kick and were able to pin Roosevelt. But the Riders have had their difficulties getting things going on offense. A lot of penalties in this first half, particularly in the second quarter. This was Kelly and Watkins again, is finding seams up the middle with that quick burst that's enabled him to move the chains throughout the first half. Kelly with a terrific throw to his weak side here, the near sideline, and once again Harris. But this is what kind of sparked some issues. We didn't get to see the whole situation, but a couple of personal foul penalties on that one. Harris keeping the ball himself and getting around the edge, and a sizable gain for a first down. Harris has been impressive through the first half, and you've seen his confidence grow with every play. Twice he went deep down the far sideline, and each time it just tipped off the ends of the fingertips of his receivers. Here's another one that he let fly and just incomplete, but pass interference was the call. Just before halftime, Roosevelt went on the march. Nice game. Daniel Love, a terrifically talented running back who's had a nice season for the Riders. De La Rosa with a pass to the near sideline. Moultrie hauled it inside the red zone. And a couple of penalties put him knocking at the door of the goal line. This horse collar tackle actually was called a face mask, and that brought him down inside the 5. The pass to Pham, the tight end, and he took it in for the touchdown. They tried for 2 and were unable to convert, and that is the score at the half as McLane tried to see if they could get a sizable gain on the return and maybe make one last attempt at the end zone, but nothing doing as the Roosevelt defense held. This was a very key play, very controversial play with about 1:40 to go, as it looked to one and all as though that ball had been coughed up, and the Riders had taken it in for a touchdown, a go-ahead touchdown.
Right.
And the officials ruled that the play had been dead.
That could have changed the whole dynamics of the game right now. You know, going in with the lead at halftime, Roosevelt getting a little bit of momentum, but instead now you have 8-6.
Indeed. Could have been 13-14-6 at 8, I should say, at the half instead, but Otnoff Harris walked out to midfield and vented his frustration to the officials as the rain is coming down much harder right now as the two teams are coming out of their respective locker rooms, returning to their sidelines. Roosevelt coming to the near sideline, and Dan Taylor with Dr. Jojo Reyes, the former Roosevelt High head coach. And Coach, as you look at the second half with the rain coming down, what are your expectations?
My expectations right now for my guys, if I was on this team right now, hey, play your game, have some fun, because not very often you get to play in the rain. I would just try to shift it and not to focus too much on the game. Have fun. Football is a game. So in looking at the team right now and then looking at the conditions, I'm looking at that as they're coming out. Last week when they played Hoover, Hoover scored 27 unanswered points. So in the second half, Roosevelt had a hard time getting that engine going. I'm a little concerned for them right now because they didn't look very hot going in to the half. Right. So coming around right now and then seeing how they're playing before, it may be a long half.
Two things I think are going to be interesting to look at. The chippiness we saw in the second quarter that led to 5 different personal foul penalties. Will that subside, or will we continue to see emotions percolate between these two teams? The second, we saw the big, what we thought was a fumble, a very big play late in the half. As the rain comes down, are we going to see more loose football situations throughout the second half?
Oh, most definitely. As I see a football on the side right now, it's glistening. It's like a shiny rock out there.
You know, we talked to some of the players before the game, and actually we were talking with Julian Kelly, the McLane quarterback, before this game, and I said, with California having been in a drought for the last few years, you probably haven't practiced, let alone played in any rain games. And he had a big smile on his face and said, nope, I haven't, and I don't know what we're going to do with a wet football because we haven't played with one at all in the last 4 years. So a new experience for these players as they head out for the second half here at McLane Stadium. And glad you are with us for this experience. 8-6, McLane leading Roosevelt. Just a couple of weeks remaining in the high school football season in the Central Valley before teams will move on into the playoffs. And a big night here for these two teams as they both sit in 4th in a tie for 4th in the North Yosemite League at 1-2. Both teams 1-7 overall. Both teams in the last 3 weeks have been playing improved football. Roosevelt in particular, with Jordan De La Rosa eligible and their new quarterback, that has certainly made defenses have to have a little bit more balance and has opened up the Roosevelt running game. And as Brian Roberson told us before this game, we've seen just improved play. His McLane Highlanders grabbing more and more confidence week in, and I would think from a first-year head coach and young players, that's a given.
Oh, most definitely. Because, you know, what you just said is so true. Look at the first half. there were so many bright spots for Bryant and his staff to build upon. So going into it now, granted, you want to come out on top. There are a lot of victories to look at this right now. So yes, let's see if they can get the momentum, especially on this kickoff. They kick it deep or pooch, and then pooch it is.
Short
That's
kick.
a live ball. Oh, boy, that was close.
2 weeks ago, we saw McLane open the second half at Sunnyside and attempt an onside kick that they very nearly were able to hang on to beyond midfield.
Coach, I like this right now. I like that call. A little, that was very close to being McLane's ball. Show that you're here to play. Don't be conservative. Let's play.
Highlander defense on the field. McLane offense, or Roosevelt offense, huddle up around their head coach. They're the near sideline, and Jordan De La Rosa brings the Riders out on the field to begin their first possession of the second half. 8-6, Highlanders leading Roosevelt. Riders coming out playing a little bit of catch-up, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, this first series is pretty important. Set the standard, fellas.
Daniel Love, the lone back, as De La Rosa comes out throwing and picks up about 4 yards on the first play of the second half.
That ball did look slippery. It almost popped out of his gut.
Damian Ross, the wide receiver, and you got to get that ball into the gut, into the chest, and make sure you hang on for dear life.
That thing was popped out.
Nobody's left this one despite the rain. A lot of umbrellas have come out. A lot of hoodies have gone up, and the school spirit is still sky high here at McLane Stadium in central Fresno. Rain coming down as second half is just underway. Glad you're with us here on CMEC. Daniel Love to the near side, spins free. Brought down across midfield at the McLane 45-yard line. Daniel Love with a big gain.
He's lucky that wasn't a holding call right now on that right tackle. Because if you see a replay, he's bear hugging him. That's how he got the edge, because he bear hugged the defensive end.
Pretty close to a horse collar tackle as well as he was brought down. I know you were wanting to say that, but Maxwell comes in, the talented sophomore at running back. 1st and 10 at the McLane 45. Indeed. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. De La Rosa from the pistol, 4 yards back, 5 yards back of his center. And the give goes to Maxwell, who picks up 3 before a swarm of Highlanders bring him down.
Nice call on offense and defense. Both were aggressive. Nice call. For the most part, I would say the referees are letting the boys play.
Seem to.
They're pretty good. It's the real egregious fouls that you can't hide away.
There's just been a few instances, particularly in each team's bench area, when there was no choice. The penalty flags had to come out.
They had to come out.
2nd down 7 from the McLane 42. De La Rosa fakes the pass with a give to Daniel Love, who picks up maybe a yard at most.
Got a player getting up kind of slowly.
Couple of them, in fact.
Yeah, was it Bradley Salvador? Bradley Salvador had him in the backfield. Had him wrapped up for a moment. It slipped right through his hands.
Ball marked at the 42-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. Now they're saying 3rd and 7. I'll go along with it.
There you go. So if you're Roosevelt, you put in the hands of De La Rosa, roll him out, maybe in the pocket. Oh, here we go.
Now the big run stopper, Vernell Sessions, is in the middle for McLane, and he is tough to get through. Moultrie close to a 1st down, and it looks like he got it. They are going to mark it at the 32-yard line, and that'll be long enough for a 1st down for the Riders as they continue this drive.
Yeah, that corner was playing about 5 yards off him, so, that was a quick slant. He had enough time to get on top of that. But it happens.
Riders' offensive line doing a terrific job up front. Espinoza, Peralta, Caldera, the center, Garcia, and Zavala giving De La Rosa good protection, but also doing some good run blocking as De La Rosa just flings it way over the head of Moultrie and out of bounds. Incomplete.
Yeah, it looks like McLane tried coming off the edges pretty hard. But looking at De La Rosa right now, even if they would have got to him, it was wide open in the middle to get a little, cheap 5 yards. See what happens if they do it again.
So from your look, is he going through progressions? Is this a progression, a read-oriented offense, or
From my point of view, no. It looks like he's locking on to his main receiver. He knows where he's going to go.
Play being signaled in. Two different coaches on the Riders sideline signaling in plays. This is Maxwell.
Nice
shirks
run.
that tackler, and he's close to another Roosevelt first down.
Which isn't a bad call, and not so
all.
much that run right there, but calling your receiver. Your quarterback has been eligible now for the past 3 weeks. Take some of that decision out of his hands so he can be more successful with the person that you want him to throw to.
Operating out of the no huddle, the entire team looks to the sideline for the signal coming from Otnoff Harris. Decoy signal coming from a couple of assistant coaches, and the give goes again to Maxwell, and he bowls his way for about 6 yards.
Nice run. That was all him on that one.
Howard Maxwell Jr., just a sophomore, 5'10", 195. Two-way player. He's also a standout in the secondary for Roosevelt. He comes out. Daniel Love, the quick little tailback in the backfield alongside De La Rosa. Fires. He's got a receiver wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Rough Riders.
Right there's an example. There was no question who he's going to.
Absolutely right. Roosevelt with a score, and they take the lead.
Riders are going for one. To the point out. Oh, missed snap.
And indeed, we talked about wet football. Moultrie trying to run it for 2 before he is finally hauled down. So the Riders take the lead on the Isaiah Jones reception. Isaiah Jones, the senior running back and wide receiver. Number 16 hauls in the toss from De La Rosa, and that puts Roosevelt on top.
Yeah, you don't see that score very often, 8-12. That looks like a Little League game. It's like a Little League score right there.
So Riders up 12-8 now.
Knowing that the conditions on the field maybe get a little bit more damp. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the ball here.
The rain is lightening up a bit, but it is still coming down around McLane Stadium.
See the special teams, look at that gap where the 40 is. That's something to look at there, Coach.
Burgess and Reyes will be your returners for. Actually looks as though they have shuffled a little bit and put Martin in deep. Martin, the far side of the field. Line drive going Martin's way.
Good
Scoots
kick.
past Martin into the end zone, and it'll be down. Touchback, bring it out to the 20-yard line.
I just saw that gap on the receiving team at the 40. That looks, and my guy's coming up. That might be a good shot to get the ball back right there. They had a lot of green right there. I'm like, who? Like special teams coach, you seeing what I'm seeing?
So, Coach, are you noticing any changes in what Roosevelt is doing defensively over the first half?
Not really. Pretty much they have one game plan, it looks like. It's get the quarterback, play aggressive, make plays, make something happen. It looks like they're lined up right now, no different.
They have a new quarterback. No, they don't. Yeah, well, I'm trying to tell from this vantage point. No, Kelly is your quarterback.
And they're playing man. You got a hard off man off the edge.
Took too much time.
Delay
Ricardo Arias was in the backfield. That's what threw me a little bit.
Timeout. Okay.
Managed to get the timeout before the play clock expired. So Brian Roberson and his staff will have a little discussion.
I'm going to go with the time of night it is because my eyes can't see that far. Or is that, age? I'm not sure because I can't
time
see
of
that
night,
far.
Time of night.
It's time of night.
And probably the rain a little bit as well.
There it is. There. Thanks, Dan. You hooked me up.
Teams surround their respective coaches here. The Roosevelt Rough Riders have come out to start the second half with a nice drive and taken a 12-8 lead over the McLane Highlanders. Highlanders have led the entire way up until Roosevelt punched it in. Controversial no call late just before the end of the first half. A fumble by Julian Kelly, the McLane quarterback, was picked up by Jet Li and run back in for an apparent touchdown. And the officials said no, that Kelly was down, no fumble.
Right.
Replays, probably not a replay that the Roosevelt coaching staff will want to take a look at anytime soon.
Little freeze frame.
Yes.
Send it into CIF.
Absolutely.
Look what happened.
Kelly with two backs beside him. Reyes goes in motion to the near side. 3 receivers here at the bottom of your screen. And Kelly is going to keep it.
Oh, shoestring tackle there.
He is brought down to the backfield, may have lost a yard.
That was a nice job by Muhammad. What's difficult right now is that we're in the second half, and so now you're down. McLane has the ball. You haven't had a lot of success in regards to scoring. So as they're learning on the run right now. Versus like what you saw last week with Hoover. Hoover has been there before.
Yes.
So you just saw them chip away. Your alma mater just chipped away, chipped away. Yeah.
3 receivers now to the near side. Kelly in the pistol. Khalil Martin was the man in motion, top of your screen. Kelly gets rid of it quickly to Martin, picks up a couple before he is brought down. Had to get that ball out quickly, and I'm sure that message has come through loud and clear from the sideline that they're going to keep blitzing off the edges, and you've got to get rid of that football fast.
Right. Looking at him right there, Kelly was looking up top, and he just did a quick dump off. That was a good progression. I'll give him that.
I did notice that Kelly is learning about life in the rain as he is using some of the towels that his teammates are wearing around their waist to try and wipe the rain and the mud off of his hand.
The wet towels.
Fisher flanked wide to the near side. He made a couple of tremendous grabs in the first half as Kelly goes looking at him. Ball is intercepted. And down to the 2-yard line.
Nice heads-up play there. Nice heads-up play by Zion Christian.
Zion Christian grabs the deflected ball off of Fisher and hauls it all the way back down to the 2-yard line. A big, big break for the Rough Riders.
That's an early Christmas present right there. That he just had right into him.
As you'll see, it was off the hands of Jakari Fisher, and he's got a convoy clearing it away for him. He goes to the outside. Perhaps if he had stayed behind his blockers, might have found his way into the end zone, but as it is, Roosevelt has it 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Moultrie doesn't even go out to the middle of the field as if to huddle. He just runs from the sideline meeting right to the near sideline out of your picture. De La Rosa looking in his direction. De La Rosa with the give and the touchdown.
There it is.
Daniel Love streaks in for the score.
You know, I really can't blame too much on Kelly on that last play. Hit a nice progression. Receiver was wide open, just in and out of the hands.
There you see him punch it in for the easy score. And they're going to go for 2. Riders with a 10-point lead, trying to tack a couple more on. De La Rosa gives it to Maxwell, who bulls his way across, and the officials throw up both arms, and it is a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, expect some big things from that young man in the years to come.
So Roosevelt comes out with 2 scores to start the second half, pushes their way out to a 20-8 lead. And we talked about the impact of the rain and balls slipping and potential fumbles.
Yeah.
It hit McLane Highlanders in the worst way on that last drive.
The fans are feeling it because can the music get any louder? Well, look, this is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
You know, these are the memories that are created.
This is the fun of high school football.
Oh, yes. It never leaves. It's never, like, you know, before the show I was telling you, it never goes away. The itch to coach. But I think the reason is because it's you're impacting these young kids' lives.
Absolutely. You have much more time with them than you probably do in a classroom, and a different type of relationship than in a traditional classroom environment. It's a great teaching opportunity. At the goal line, Burgess brings it out to about the 19, where 5 Rough Riders stop him in his tracks and push him backwards.
Yeah, you know what you said about great opportunities in different ways and different arenas. I think it doesn't matter what sport you coach, your feedback's pretty immediate. In a classroom, you get some immediate feedback, but you're always trying to test your students, see where they're at. And you can always do that in practice. In a football game, it's right there, and you can correct it on the spot. Sometimes teachers don't have all that time. A lot of things, the teaching nowadays, holy smokes, there's a lot of pressure on teachers.
And I think this game film may have been a teaching moment right there, because perhaps he should have let it go into the end zone, taken a touchback, and let them start. Well, but they are starting right at about the 20-yard line anyway. So 1st and 10 for McLane at their 20-yard line. Kelly with the keeper.
Miscommunication. He's running.
And he's going to take a loss of a couple of yards and go out of bounds. Missed signals there in the backfield, intended to give it to one of his running backs who didn't think he was supposed to take the football, and Kelly takes it himself and winds up being driven out of bounds a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd down 12 from the 18-yard line for the Riders, or the Highlanders now. 5:52 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Driving a score and then an interception that put it at the 2. Keying another score as Roosevelt has come out to put 15 points on the board real fast here. 16 points on the board right away here in the second half.
In the pistol.
Kelly evades the rushing linebacker. Firing to the far side, but nobody near, and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, that matchup between Eduardo Mojica, that center, and then Rudy Peralta. That's a big. Rudy Peralta's getting a nice rush in there. He's bull rushing him right back into him. So hey, he had to flush Kelly out. Kelly really didn't have an option.
Bill Brian Roberson making some changes at center going into this game, and it looks as though the Roosevelt defense has spied the inexperience of the starting center and is taking advantage a little bit in their schemes. 3rd down and 12 at the 18-yard line. 5:26 remaining here in the 3rd quarter from McLane Stadium. Rain still coming down.
First timeout.
And we have a timeout taken by McLane. Highlanders using their 2nd timeout of the second half, and they'll jog over around their head coach Brian Roberson. The Riders, as you see, coming around their coaching staff in front of the near sideline.
So if you're Brian Roberson right now, what do you think he's telling his players?
Well, as we can see, he's not telling them anything. It looks as though either he is stewing or he is letting his assistant coaches do the talking. I know it's been a very frustrating, almost shell-shocking start to the second half, because they controlled the time of possession through the first half. They played very impressively. Kelly, off of a couple of broken plays, made some big plays that ended up leading to touchdowns for the Highlanders. The second half, it has been all Roosevelt as they mounted a very strong drive to begin the second half and punched it in for the score, and then came right back off the deflection on the pass to Harris, and they were able to take it down, Isaiah Jones down to the 2-yard line, and then Love punches it in for the score, and Maxwell for the 2-point conversion. So they put 14 points on the board, and they've gone from being down 8-6 to sitting now in a 2-possession lead at 20-8.
Yeah, stay consistent. You know, I guess what I was pointing out there was that, hey, your boys are doing fine.
Kelly lets fly, but the defenders see it coming.
And it's pass interference. Looks like an early hit.
Dongu Veer was the intended receiver for the Highlanders.
You wave it off.
Well, you have to wonder. The ball was, in fact, tipped, and the officials are talking it over. Well, let's see if there is a call or if they waved it off. No, they are calling pass interference.
At the displeasure of the Roosevelt fans.
Indeed, but the question becomes, did the interference happen long before the ball was tipped? And I think that's probably what they're ruling.
That's only I can think of, the push
from
before.
The previous spot results in a first down.
Let's see if they get a replay.
Well, I'm sure at some point one of the officials will come over to the near sideline and explain things to Otnoff Harris and let him make the explanation to his players.
He's saying tip. He's saying tip himself.
I think the question is, did the interference happen before the ball was tipped?
Right. Breathing a little bit of life into the McLane Highlanders right now.
Well, it's certainly something they needed. They had certainly come out struggling to start the second half.
Now you got some room to breathe.
Kelly with a keeper
run.
up the middle, picking up 6 before he's finally brought down.
Hey, chip away. That's all you got to do. Keep away, chip away.
As long as positive things are happening. That's the key.
Yeah. And
plenty of time left.
And it looks like, looking at Kelly right now, he's got a lot of gas in the tank.
He has certainly been carrying the bulk of the load throughout this second half. He's had so many runs and been flushed from the pocket a number of times, but he seems very fresh. The legs seem fresh, and he's still effective back there.
Oh, most definitely.
Riders coming up on the line of scrimmage, looking to jam receivers, fake blitz. Nothing doing as far as this run goes. May have picked up a yard at most.
Yeah, he could have lost a couple yards right there.
Khalil Martin, the ball carrier.
3rd and doable. Referee timeout.
Have a Roosevelt player down once again. There you see Martin again. Oh,
I couldn't see that number. Number 2.
That's Adam Aragon.
Yeah.
And he has been having some issues with the left knee tonight. We noticed it's heavily wrapped, and he came out at one point in the second quarter but was able to go back in again. Looks as though he's having some difficulty once again. Trainers are going to look at him down on the bench in front of us as 4 yards stands between the McLane Highlanders and a first down here on their 3rd down play. Kelly with 3 receivers to the far side. And he was...
that was almost a pick 6.
It was very close. You're absolutely right. Ball tipped away there as Tongo Hur was the intended receiver. Ball tipped away. And that brings up 4th down. Now McLane sends on the punting unit. 4th and 4 from the 39-yard line. Running Garza to kick it away.
I got Moultrie deep.
Going to say Moultrie deep, and he's a dangerous runner.
Kick it away from him. See if they utilize the right side of the field here.
Roosevelt defensive front pointing toward one of the McLane offensive linemen, and looks as though we're going to get 5 yards marched off.
12 men on the field. Replay 4th down.
There you see the call. And it will now be fourth at about 15. Is a very high snap.
And that was nearly
able
blocked.
to get it away.
There you go. Bounce to the right.
And it does take a Roosevelt bounce to do the Roosevelt 38-yard line. Well, they'll begin their next possession here with 3:58 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Roosevelt has bolted out with 14 third-quarter points, and they now, after trailing 8-6 at the half, sit on a 20-8 lead on the McLane Highlanders. And are we starting to see the McLane players with a little less bounce in their step, JoJo?
Yeah. It's hard to watch it. It's hard to watch it up here because you can just see it. You can just feel the air coming out of it at this point. Because now this is a dangerous situation for McLane as Roosevelt now. They're just going to run the ground game, and they've got some good runners.
Otnoff Harris barking encouragement to his team. His offense out on the field, led by Jordan De La Rosa, the junior quarterback.
They're going to stack the box with 6.
This is Love. Picks up about 3 before being hauled down.
See, in my sense, why not run the same play? You're going to eat up. Oh, geez, yeah. Eat up the clock. Eat it away.
2nd and 7 now at the 42-yard line for the Rough Riders. Roosevelt student section hasn't taken a seat yet this entire half, which is tremendous to see such enthusiasm.
It's the rain.
On a dreary night, but this is Maxwell around the far side. And he is across the 50 down to the 40, still pushing forward. And
looks like that's going to come back, though, unfortunately.
Looks like about a gain of 25, 26 yards. Trying to figure out if that's a flag or if that's the Roosevelt left guard's socks. It is indeed a holding call against the Riders.
And it's a sock.
That brings it back and negates a tremendous run by Howard Maxwell Jr. as he took it all the way down to about the 27, 28-yard line. Would have been about a gain of a little over 25 yards, and that was sheer effort that made that gain happen. He had a nice burst, but he was dragging tacklers, pulling tacklers, pushing tacklers, and managed to get down all the way to the 27-yard line, but it's all for naught as it comes way, way back.
That was all desire right there.
It was.
Definitely hard to teach.
Official signaling the clock to re-engage, and Roosevelt will now initiate this play from their own 31-yard line.
Wouldn't doubt it if he takes a shot right here.
2nd down. Fakes the handoff.
And he was looking left the whole time.
Oh, he's got running. 3 blitzers, tucks it, and out of bounds he goes at about the 42.
Dylan Roosevelt did a nice job of tucking that ball away, but him still being a junior and about being 200 pounds or so forth, and he's limping back, you're a big target.
No question. Third down for the Riders as Jordan De La Rosa hobbles back to the huddle. McLane now with 4 up front, and the blitz was coming.
Timeout.
And Roosevelt got a quick timeout in.
That definitely was in their benefit right there.
Might have been an opportunistic timeout because McLane was really coming with that hot blitz.
That was good, but also a nice key for him right now.
2:46 remaining in the third quarter here at McLane Stadium as the visitors, the Roosevelt Rough Riders on your screen in the white and green, have taken a 20-8 lead. They trailed by 2, 8-6 at the half, came right out with 14 quick points. Their second touchdown coming on the tipped pass that was run back to the 2-yard line and set up the touchdown run and the ensuing 2-point conversion. So they now sit on a 12-point lead. And momentum has definitely swung here at McLane Stadium.
It has.
Rain has stopped, although the field is a bit soggy, not too bad. Can't cool off the student enthusiasm in both grandstands here at McLane Stadium. Thanks for joining us here on CMAC tonight. Glad you're with us, whether it's on ATT Uverse or on Comcast, or you've tuned in and watched us on the World Wide Web on CMAC.tv. Hope you'll check throughout CMAC.tv to learn more about CMAC and what they have to offer, the classes and opportunities. As Howard Maxwell Jr., here he goes again. He's got blockers out in front of him. Cuts to the outside, brought down inside the 5-yard line.
Looks like things are going to get opened up here real soon.
Howard Maxwell Jr., the sophomore, 5'10", 195 pounds. Two-way player for the Riders, and opponents are going to see a lot more of him for 2 more seasons. Howard Maxwell Jr. taking that screen pass and streaking his way through the Highlander defenders all the way down to the 3-yard line. 1st and goal, Rough Riders at the 3.
Yeah, McLane needs a little bit of the luck to go their way right now.
Watch definitely. Maxwell again right here as he's got a couple of blockers out in front of him. Paces himself well to use those blockers. Twists and turns his way to the 3-yard line. Maxwell,
and he feeds him.
Across for the touchdown.
Hit pay dirt. Hey, but with a run like that, why not give it to him again? You know?
Absolutely.
Hey, here, you earned it, kid.
Maxwell with an impressive long run to set it up, and then they let him ice the cake as he goes in from 3 yards out. And the Rough Riders have scored for the third time in this quarter.
And it looks like they're going for 2. Yep.
Indeed, De La Rosa with Maxwell flanked alongside in the backfield as the Riders set up to go for 2. Moultrie on the near side, and the fake toward Moultrie, and now De La Rosa.
Now it's schoolyard. He's open.
Indeed.
Oh!
Pass falls to the turf, incomplete.
Didn't see him come out of the corner.
So with 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play, Roosevelt has scored again, and they have pushed their lead to 16 points, or 18 points, as I say. They're up 26-8. Riders really turning things around in this third quarter.
Yeah, it's a little role reversal. But in this case, though, they're putting more points on the board. They're making those opportunities into points. McLane right now, they played a solid first half, but, when it takes 2 halves to play the full game.
Well, McLane is in desperate need of a successful drive. They need to run time off the clock. They need to regain that confidence that they had.
Right.
And they had built up not just in the first quarter, but especially with the long possession of the second quarter. First quarter, it seemed that whatever they tried worked. Second quarter, benefited of a lot of penalties.
Yeah, because, even though Roosevelt had some penalties early on in the game, it's just I'm not sure if they're just trying to show their dominance, with their attitude. But now that they're scoring points, it's really coming through.
Harris from the 8-yard line brings it all the way out to about the 30-yard line. Nice run for Harris.
But there's no reason why McLane can't, play hard right now. There's no reason for them not to. But I guess it's a belief system, because if they've never been there, what do you have to drop on?
It's been that type of a season where they have certainly struggled early. Just in the last couple of weeks, things seem to start going their way, and it's so easy for the players to drop their head when things begin to fall back into that struggle mode once again.
Right.
And you think, here we go again. And they desperately, if they're going to stay in this one, they need to have a successful drive right now.
And that's when the clock feels like it's going real slow.
Indeed. We're at 1:59 here in the third quarter. Quick substitution for the Highlanders, and they've had to take a timeout because of it. Timeout called by McLane, their third in this third quarter. As you see, the Highlanders huddled around their coaches on the far sideline. 26-8, Roosevelt has stormed out into the lead. The Rough Rider coaches, see if we can hear what they're saying.
Get a little FaceTime right there. It's a pretty comfortable lead that the Riders have. But at the same time, looking at McLane, no one's getting kind of crazy out there, but the look on Coach's face says it all.
Well, Roosevelt has successfully been able to put 20 points up on the board here in the third quarter, going from 8-6 down at the half, 26-8 up with 1:59 to go in the third quarter.
What's key is that you don't need a big play. Just get this chip away like we were talking about before. To set a standard, get a rhythm going.
Continue to make positive things happen. Arias comes in motion to the near side. Kelly with about a 5-step drop, and he is going to be dropped by 2 Roosevelt defenders.
Well, they had to stack receivers right there. I'm not sure if he could see it, but he had one right open on the seam. A little quick throw, that was the first down. We'll say that something got in his eye.
That'll make it second down at about 18 for the Highlanders. Second and 17, actually. The ball will be spotted at the McLane 23-yard line. Kelly sends 3 receivers to the near side of your screen as you see the sack there one more time. Kelly would like nothing to do with ever seeing that again, as he now is forced to scramble and just gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's pushed out of bounds.
Brings you a third down?
Third down and a long way to go. 3rd and 17.
Okay, maybe you do need a big play right now.
I think you're right, Coach. I think a big play is
Come on, spark it up.
in order for sure. Frustration's beginning to set in for the Highlanders. 3rd and 17 from the 23-yard line. They have to punt it away. This will be the 3rd straight drive that has been 3 and out.
Got a brand new free safety in there.
He evades the blitz, fakes a pass, and goes out of bounds after a gain of about 2 yards. So another frustrating drive for the Highlanders as they will be forced to punt. And the momentum has clearly swung into the Roosevelt side.
Yes, it has.
We have a rider down at about the 15-yard line as the training staff goes out. But here you see Harris is forced to scramble. And in doing so, quarterback really running to evade defenders and no longer really scanning the field for open receivers.
That's run for dear life.
Which is tough because that's when you get good receivers will work to get open and try to help their quarterback, but when he's forced to scramble and evade 3 on-rushing defenders, there's not much he can do to take advantage of that situation. 14 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, as the Riders have put 20 points on the board in this quarter to go from a 2-point deficit to a 26-8 advantage over the host McLane Highlanders on senior night here at McLane Stadium. The wet McLane Stadium as rain has begun to come down once again lightly.
Looks like Rudy Peralta, the one that was down, looks pretty good right now. Gives him a nice little breather.
Moultrie drops back to about his own 44-45-yard line to await the McLane punt. And the body language says plenty.
Oh,
very high
dangerous.
snap once again, but he's able to get it off. It'll bounce at the McLane 45 and start to bounce backward before a Highlander just grabs the football to prevent it from happening. So a 3rd straight 3 and out for McLane here in what has been a dismal 3rd quarter for them. Just the opposite for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, who have really had things going their way from good drives to good breaks and 3 scores to put 20 points up on the board here with 5 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter of play from McLane Stadium.
Yeah, we can definitely say the tables have turned.
I'm Dan Taylor, and I'm with the coach, Dr. JoJo Reyes, the former Roosevelt High head coach, as we watch this one, a North Yosemite League battle between longtime rivals Roosevelt High, taking the field in the white with the green pants, McLane High in the all-red uniforms with the black helmets. Jordan De La Rosa giving to Daniel Love.
Nice job following those blocks right there.
Indeed, follows them all the way up to about the 39-yard line.
That line is definitely getting momentum. That and the combination of, the other side of the ball is not getting off.
Love picks up about 6-7 yards on that carry.
But what's nice about this, if you're on the Roosevelt side, is that now you get to open up your playbook a little bit. You've got some breathing room. Let's throw some plays that we haven't thrown in a while, or none of our high percentage plays. Get some other players in. So there's the flip side to this situation here. So if you're at Naff Harris, you're thinking, hey, we're doing something positive. We're bouncing back from last week.
Brian Roberson, enthusiastic, optimistic, looking ahead to the future of this program at McLane, and they have a great past at McLane Stadium as the clock runs out, and we are at the conclusion of the 3rd quarter of play. So we move toward the final 12 minutes of action here at McLane Stadium with Roosevelt on top 26-8. But McLane's is a program that has great tradition over the years. You go back to the 70s where they were a championship program with Larry Mucker, who went on to play in the NFL. Sam Donabedian went on to play at USC. Rod Kraft, who moved across and as a freshman started at quarterback at Fresno State. Streak in and out of the hands of the receiver. De La Rosa thought he had that one.
Yeah, Villicana,
and you
very close.
See some reaction up and down the Roosevelt sideline as they really thought that if that one had hit, it was going to be a big play.
That would have been a highlight. That definitely would have been a highlight.
And the Highlanders came back in the 80s. They had Vesty Jackson Jr., an outstanding two-way player, went to Washington, was a standout corner, and played 6 years in the NFL. And one of those years actually led the National Football League in interceptions when he was at Miami with 8 interceptions. Came back in the 90s, had some very good talent here. Marquise Roberts, Marcellus Armstrong and company, as Maxwell gets his way around the near side and now just bowls his way down to the 23-yard line.
Hey, what an outstanding run by that young man. He had, there were multiple opportunities to get him tackled, to put him down, but that was definitely some second-level effort right there.
Thunder and lightning in that backfield. You got the quick one in Love, and you've got the very strong but also fast Howard Maxwell Jr. That young man, just a sophomore, 5'10", about 190, 195 pounds, and we're going to be hearing a lot about him for 2 more years.
He looks like 195 pounds.
Indeed,
he does. Sometimes
they
inflate these numbers and these weights and heights. I don't think so. I think he looks all of it.
First and 10 to the 23-yard line. Riders on the march again. They have scored in all 3 times they have had the football in this second half. And to start the fourth quarter, they're marching toward the end zone once again. They're now in the red zone down to the 18, JoJo.
I would imagine if the Riders get this, they punch this one in, you're going to see a switch of players, a lot of white jerseys going in there, which would be good because, those guys practice day in, day out. Yeah, they don't get as much playing time as everybody, but at the same time, they're part of the team, so this is a perfect opportunity to punch this thing in, get those guys in.
Absolutely.
Get some reps.
Absolutely. Second down and 5. From the McLane 18-yard line. Jordan De La Rosa with a cadence. Pulls it back. Let's fly.
Ooh.
Just over the head of his intended receiver at about the 10-yard line.
So, yeah, I'm anxious to see what De La Rosa is going to be for next year. As a senior, they can add about 15 pounds to him, work on speed and agility, get that release going, play a full 10-game season. That'd be something interesting to see.
Well, I think there's a lot of enthusiasm as well as optimism around the Roosevelt program as they go forward. De La Rosa and Maxwell, among others, that will be back next year. Zadaf Harris came in just a month before the start of things, so didn't have a lot of time to establish things. In and out of the hands of the receiver in the end zone.
Yeah, you don't want to see that one, buddy. No replays on that one. That's a touchdown.
Damian Ross just missing this ball. See if we take another look at that one as De La Rosa.
What is it, catch with your hands, not with your chest?
Yeah, trying to keep his receiver's confidence high. May just as well come right back with him as you see this one more time. Pump fake and may have just been tipped by the McLane defender. They're going for it. 4th and 5 at the 18-yard line. Riders are going to take a shot at this one, see if they can get the first down, if not a touchdown.
Keep the momentum going.
Maxwell back into the ball game in the backfield alongside De La Rosa. 2 receivers flanked on each side. Oh, nothing doing as he's hauled down back at the 30-yard line.
And a very dangerous tackle.
Loss of about 12 yards on that play, and that's where the Highlanders will take over.
There's the limp. Any of those twist tackles right there, very dangerous. I really thought they were going to give it to Maxwell.
Well, given the track record, they've been pretty successful when they have.
I agree.
So McLane takes over, and they're almost in desperation mode now. 26-8, they trail with 10:26 to go in this game. They need 3 successful possessions if they're to pull this one out, and the chances of getting 3 possessions in 10.5 minutes, not particularly good.
And it looks like at number 18, De La Rosa is getting 10-2 on the sidelines.
Julian Kelly. Over the middle,
Nice
he's got a
pass.
receiver.
Nice move.
Khalil Martin across midfield, brought down at the Roosevelt 48-yard line.
Fantastic play. Nice read. Maxwell did a progression. He saw that, he threw a nice little strike. And that rain starting to pick up again.
Indeed. So a little bit of enthusiasm injected back into the Highlander huddle as they come up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the Roosevelt 49-yard line. Highlanders who trailed throughout the entire first half in a game of catch-up.
I don't know, Dan.
Down to the 35-yard line.
I saw that first half sparking here right now.
Chris Martinez on the receiving end. Martinez had the big 80-yard return with a kick last week for a touchdown in their win in Reedley. Three receivers out to the near side.
Take a shot.
Martin in motion, sets up on the far side.
Intermediate route, is he going? Oh, he's looking.
In and out of the hands of the receiver.
He had a man deep. He looked at him first, then he went down to the secondary. Like, oh, he was open. I'm impressed with Kelly, though. I'm impressed.
He's had a nice game. He's had a very nice game. Been very impressive. Not rattled when he's flushed out of the pocket, and he's able to get himself in a position to make a good throw. When he is on the run, he's made a couple of big plays when he's been on the run. Ball at the Roosevelt 34-yard line.
I think you punch this in, we've got a game.
Riders indeed. Riders have kept McLane out of the end zone throughout this second half. 9:29 to go. And they're trying to continue that trend here. Kelly takes the snap, picks up about 2 yards before being brought down, and now it'll bring up a 3rd and long. Ryan Roberson out on the field barking the next play call to his quarterback.
You've had a lot of success in the air, spreading everybody out. I'm not sure she had gone away with that one.
Martin in motion to the top of your screen. Ball goes in his direction. Can they set up a successful screen? No, they're going to be about 5 yards short of a first down.
Well, definitely 4-down territory right here.
Rain continuing to come down a little bit harder here at McLane Stadium in Central Fresno. Glad you're joining us here on CMAC. Thanks to all the McLane video production students who are getting some great hands-on experience tonight, courtesy of the CMAC program. Doing a great job on those cameras and in the truck. Pictures are looking great.
Yeah, how about that CMAC? All about the community. All
terrific.
About it.
3rd down and 7. Kelly with a fake. Can he get away? No.
And it's coughed up. Scoop and score. Wow, he really wanted that, didn't he?
Finally dragged down at the 35-yard line. Andre Bowens picking up that fumble and taking it down to the 35-yard line. A huge blow to the Highlanders as the ball is coughed up on the hit. And the Riders will take possession in McLane territory.
Some early celebrations going on the sideline.
A big blow to McLane's hopes of a comeback here in the 4th quarter at McLane Stadium on senior night. Riders trudging out onto the field. Their quarterback, Jordan De La Rosa, limping a little bit out onto the field. Certainly not as mobile as he was 2 quarters ago.
Most definitely.
1st and 10 at the 35. 8 minutes to play. Love darting through the defenders. Back to the near side. Wrapped up. Finally pulled down at the 36 or 26-yard line by a pair of McLane Highlander defenders.
What I like about Daniel Love, he's patient. He's very patient. Not a huge kid, but at the same time, he follows his blocks, and then when he sees that seam, there's a burst of speed that goes out there.
Indeed. He's got great quickness to get through any brief opening, and at the same time, he's got that patience to sit behind his blockers and wait for them to do their job and open things up for him. And 2nd and 2 from the 27.
Then you have the M1A1 tank back there, Maxwell.
Speaking of which,
he sees it and goes for it.
He brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Downhill runner, though. That's good.
That was Yang Her who pushed his way into the backfield and was able to stop Maxwell about a loss of a yard. 3rd and 8 from the 28-yard line. McLane defense has stepped up here on this possession.
Yeah.
Third down for the Riders.
Wouldn't doubt they ran the same play. Little trap to kick them out. Oh, go in the air.
And his man is wide open. That is Devontae Moultrie. First down and then some. Inside the 20, brought down at about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
And keeping that drive alive.
Moultrie streaking right across the middle. Well, that horizontal route got into a seam there and was able to pick up enough for the first down. As you see it again, De La Rosa saw him, threw it off the back foot, and was able to get it out to him and pick up enough for a first down. So 1st and 10 at the McLane 18-yard line as the Riders trying to march toward yet another score. This is Daniel Love, pulled down with an ankle tackle.
This is where you bear down on that defense. I'm seeing a lot of arm tackles. Everyone's standing up. You know, this is where, hey, this is a defining moment for your defense, something to build off of. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Call a timeout if you want, but don't let them score.
Both teams with just one timeout remaining.
Challenge your defense.
Yes. Ball now at the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Split backs alongside De La Rosa, and the give goes to Love. No, that goes to Adam Aragon for the touchdown.
Nice job. You can just see the Roosevelt side. It's just definitely the confidence is building.
And that's going to pretty much wrap it up, I would think.
Yes.
Very little opportunity to get enough possessions to be able to mount a comeback. 32-8 our score.
You know, stranger things have happened, but I don't think it's going to happen tonight.
Absolutely. The tale of two halves.
Yes.
McLane controlled play in the first half, and it has been all Roosevelt impressively here in the second half as they now sit on a 32-8 lead, going for 2. Riders going for 2. Penalty flags fly. And the throw caught by Moultrie on the far side. No call. Let's see what the penalty call is there.
Right.
6-man line on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Procedure.
Replay the try.
Moving
well,
it back.
You see Adnav Harris going to his laminated play sheet. As the ball is set now at the 9-yard line for this 2-point conversion.
It actually gives them a lot more room to throw the ball. That's good. Maybe it was designed. Let's say it was designed.
And throw it they will.
Oh,
incomplete in the end zone. Diving receiver Damian Ross unable to come up with that low throw, so the 2-point conversion fails. So with 5:25 remaining here in the football game, in the fourth quarter at McLane Stadium, the Roosevelt High Rough Riders have stormed out to a 32-8 lead on this rainy night in Central Fresno.
Yeah, this is about that time where I'm switching everybody. Quarterback, sit down. You're done for the night. Can't
There'll
have
be
you
a
get
few
injured.
clean white jerseys going in
yes,
there.
Yes.
The next
Mom,
time.
Look at me. I'm in.
Absolutely. Coach, it's been fun working with you. We've got 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go. It's always great learning new things and hearing the insights from someone who's actually been up and down those sidelines in the battles like this. And a time like this, if you're in Brian Roberson's shoes, it's challenging to keep your players' spirits up.
Yeah, you know, been there, done that. Been there, done that. So it's been, you know, I'll probably give a call to Brian later on this week and just, you know, because sometimes it's always good to get some comfort in those who've been there, you know. And so looking at that, and it's just, yeah, I definitely feel for him because that was us right there. And, you know, most growing teams, you know, have been there before. And, you know, it's just a matter of how long do you stay in that gully. So getting out of it, but it's a good learning experience. It's good.
And I would imagine you're looking at little things, teaching opportunities here. It may not be that what you want to accomplish is up on the scoreboard, as the Highlanders bringing the kickoff back out to about the 24-yard line. And Jakari Fisher brought it back out.
Yeah, because looking at this, looking back, sometimes when there's nothing positive that you feel that's out there, you have to find the positives. Like, hey, you tuck your jersey in. Thank you. Sometimes you got to go down levels.
But of course, you're seeing these young men every day in practice. You're seeing where they're challenged to try and master a technique or gain proficiency in some area of the game. And if you see them do something positive that way in the game, you're able to give them that positive feedback and let them know that they finally have accomplished what you've set out throughout a week or a month to try and achieve. So it may not be that the success has necessarily come on the scoreboard. It may come in another way that'll pay off big next season.
Yeah, like I think I said it last week too. It's the amount of effort it takes for a lot of these kids to get here to this point, to be on this field. A lot of people have no clue what it takes, on a weekly basis, day-to-day basis, and what the toll it takes on a kid and even on you as a coach and their parents. But looking at this, it's nice when you see them later on after they graduate high school and they're successful, because you've had a piece of that.
Right. They've learned so many lessons here about teamwork and discipline and following instruction and internalizing a strategy and a game plan, and that helps them move on and succeed in whatever profession and every walk of life that they go into in the years beyond high school.
Oh, yes. I think any coach can attest, because I think, I think I started out at Clovis West, and I was out over to Rosie, and then back to Clovis, and then in Fresno. But the thing is, kids are kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are kids. And midway through my career, I figured that one out. And it's a nice thing to see that, okay, they all have the same needs. They all have the same needs. They all have the same worries. They cheer the same. It's just a different color jersey. And sometimes some have more resources than others, But in the end, when you see them be successful, it's something nice. It makes it all worthwhile.
Absolutely. Yeah. Khalil Martin, as you see the replay on that carry, and pushed that out across the 25-yard line. Clock ticking down, 4:07. It's 3rd and 8 from the McLane 26-yard line. Highlanders in a ferocious game of catch-up as they controlled play throughout the first half, but it has been a much different second half. All Roosevelt in the second half. Pass for
nice
Harris,
hit.
and he is hit as soon as that ball reached his hands.
Ricky Valentine. Nice read.
Plays like that just continue to fire up the Roosevelt bench and the Roosevelt student body. 32-8 our score. Roosevelt on top with 3:52 remaining to be played here on a wet and chilly Thursday night at McLane Stadium in Central Fresno.
So Roosevelt played last Thursday, and they had their bubble burst, so I'm sure that Friday wasn't very good. And now it's quite the opposite. I think they're going to have a nice Friday tomorrow.
Indeed, indeed. 1 week left of the season for both of these teams. They will come back a week from tomorrow to close it out. Kelly and his receiver slipped and fell, and there we go. We talked about what was going to be different, what we might see differently in the second half, and slips, interceptions, fumbles were things that we talked about, and we've seen a bit of both. All three of those things.
That young man, Butafonsik, fell down, got back up, made a second effort, and pretty much knocked that play out. So that was good for him.
Terrific job. Clock stopped at 3:46, 1st and 10.
Looking at the screen right there, I saw Coach and I saw his assistant coach's faces. And, I think part of it is because, a lot of coaches already have success and successes in their lives, and they want so badly for these kids to have success.
So Jordan De La Rosa brings the Riders back out with 3:46 to play. They take over at the 26-yard line, the McLane 26. Give goes to Jones, stutter stepping, changing direction. Penalty flags, three of them flying. Pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious right there. Good second effort. Good second effort, though. You know, as you said, Dan, you know, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been fun. I've seen you for many, many years on TV. So, like I was saying before, listening to you is like, hey, I'm waiting for highlights for other games. I love it. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, you know, Chris and Fred right now are texting each other. Hey, what are those guys doing? What are they saying?
Well, they do a great job, and they've been tremendous for sports fans in the Valley and high school football fans in the Valley. There's few people more enthusiastic and more passionate about high school sports than Fred Clark and Chris Terrence, and it's been a real treat to work with them as well and be involved with everybody here at CMAC and with you, Coach. It's been a fun,
thank you.
Fun season.
Likewise, thank you so much. Learned a couple things already. That's good.
Ball's at the 37-yard line, 1st and 21 for Roosevelt. Love shirks the tackle. Finally brought down by big Vernell Sessions in the middle of that McLane defense. Stops him at about the 33-yard line.
And like you said before, this is where you don't belly up. Don't belly up right now. Go out hard. Go out fighting.
Absolutely.
Because how else are you going to grow? So I'm looking at the sidelines right now, and I know that it's kind of difficult when the game's pretty much has a decided, you know, in one way, but don't go out without going for it. If that makes sense.
We're inside of 3 minutes now, 2:55 in the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 16, De La Rosa. Oh, his receiver's open.
Oh, nearly picked off. He had to make the right decisions, threw it a little bit late. And that ball looked a little wet because they see that release. That ball was flopping like a little bird.
Ronnie Garza, the defender, who knocked that ball down and brings up third and 17 from the 33-yard line. Celebrating going on in the Roosevelt High student section as music getting louder. This is Maxwell around the far side. Shirks the defender. Off he goes.
And another holding call.
Second time tonight, he's had a very impressive and very long run negated by a holding call.
And good teamwork. Hey, look at that. Great character. He goes over to the other guy that's on the sideline and helps him, picks him up right there.
Flag laying at about the 25-yard line. Officials confer before making the call, and now he steps it back.
Hey, very stark difference from what we saw earlier. You know, was it Maxwell helping him up? Not saying Maxwell did anything wrong, but Maxwell did something great right there because earlier on the game, there were a lot of penalties. Cheap shots. No need for that.
Exactly.
Brings a third down and 15. No, 18, 19. A lot. It's a lot.
3rd and 28, actually, from the 35-yard line. This is Daniel Love. He's got running room.
Oh.
And it's coming back. Adnav Harris out on the field, hollering toward the officials.
Might be getting ticky-tacky on the calls right now.
Penalty flag lying at about the 35-yard line. Officials shouting the call, and it's a hold.
Holding.
As we see the signal, it is a hold.
But Adnav is doing a real good job. You haven't seen him hollering or jumping around too much. Calm demeanor, that's good.
6 white, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
3rd and 28 now from the 35-yard line. And it's marched back to the 45-yard line when Roosevelt will step up to the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and 38 play now. De La Rosa up under center for the first time tonight, and he just takes a knee. With 1:56 and counting here in the ball game.
Bringing it down. Safe call.
32-8. It's been all Roosevelt in the second half. They trailed 8-6 at halftime and have stormed out into the lead with 4 scores throughout the second half of play.
What a
combination of great breaks and some tremendous, impressive drives as well, JoJo.
Yeah, very true. Especially when that little tip off and then went right to the hands.
Oh,
you know,
that was a great
sign.
return all the way to the 2-yard line, and De La Rosa undoubtedly, and yes, he does take the knee here, and that'll really run the clock down. 4th down. The Rider offense coming off the field.
Granted, the game's out of reach, but like I said, game's not over till it's over.
Absolutely.
I'd love to see something air it out. Forrest happy. He's rather dancing. Martin. I'm going to get some exercise on that.
1:07 to go in this one. 32-8 our score. Roosevelt in line for their second win of the season and their second league win of the season. Their first coming 2 weeks ago over Reedley on the road.
Then they'll have their big matchup, a little big game with Fresno.
Always a big one. Fresno High with an impressive season thus far this year.
Oh, yes.
Airs it out. Arias far side at the 40. Gets out of bounds at about the Roosevelt 38-yard line. 58 seconds to go. Can they put it in the end zone and come up with at least 6 more? Julian Kelly has been busy tonight, flushed from the pocket throughout this one, but he's made some very impressive throws, some very impressive big plays while on the run.
Oh, yeah, there's no quitting that young man. He's been pretty consistent the whole night.
2 backs flank him, but he's going up through the air.
There you
Short
go.
pass and down to the 25-yard line for Khalil Martin. Another big gain for Martin.
See, I think all that dancing a moment ago just kind of warmed up for the
48 seconds left to play. 1st and 10 now for the Highlanders. Final home game for 17 members of the McLane High School football team as they will close it out next week. And of course, as mentioned, the big game, the little big game, Fresno High Roosevelt. Ball bounced short of the receiver. No, they're calling it a catch.
Oh, hey. That's a nice little present.
Takes it down to the 20-yard line. Looks as though it'll be, 2nd down and about 2.
Yeah, that little big game, that one never ceases to amaze me how everyone comes out. That is a big game.
My dad's a Fresno High alum, and he used to tell stories in the 40s of pass batted down by Jet Lee. But Dad used to talk about how they had 15,000 in Ratcliffe Stadium, bigger crowds for the little big game than they had for Fresno State games back in the 40s and 50s.
Wow. Well, imagine the athletes that were here in the Valley with this only a few schools,
right,
and the concentration.
That's right.
I've seen the old pictures. Those guys are huge.
Tremendous. 3 seconds left, 32-8 Roosevelt as Julian Kelly is going to bring his team up to the line of scrimmage one final time tonight, trying to make an effort of pushing one last score across.
There you go. Get in the end zone.
Kelly going up top. Nobody there. Into the arms of a Roosevelt defender. And that concludes this ball game. That's your ball game. The final scores tonight here in a wet, rainy McLane Stadium. Roosevelt High School Rough Riders storming through the second half, putting 32 points up on the board for the night, JoJo, and our final score here, 32-8. And that is going to wrap up play, and we'll be back momentarily here at McLane Stadium to take you through the highlights and recap tonight's exciting North Yosemite League action. Final score, once again, the Roosevelt High Rough Riders 32, McLane High 8. You're watching high school football from CMAC Sports. Back with more in a moment.
True. Very true.
All McLane Highlander first half. They sat on a
Yes.
halftime lead of 8-6. 8-6 had possession throughout almost the entire second quarter.
Yes.
And then the second half was all Roosevelt, and Riders were very impressive.
Oh yeah, they exploded on that second half. But they've always had those weapons. It just took them a little bit longer to get it going. And once they did, as you can tell by these future highlights coming up, they turned it on pretty good.
Jordan De La Rosa has got some weapons there. As Daniel Love, the quick running back, with some big gainers to get him in a good scoring position. And here De La Rosa makes things happen through the air as he hit Jones for the touchdown that put him on top 12-8 early in the third quarter. And the Highlanders really just struggled to get things going. The defense made some adjustments, and they came out very strong. This was really the straw that broke the camel's back.
That was definitely the dagger.
Ball thrown in the rain, tipped off the defender, and was run all the way back to the 2-yard line. And just about a play or two later, it was punched in for the touchdown. Then on the return, Highlanders had hoped they could get some good field position and start a good drive. Kelly, they were on the ground early.
It just sputtered.
They really did.
Sputtered.
They
had
just
a good play.
Never seemed to get things going at all.
Right.
The high snap looked like it was almost going to be a disaster. And it started to take a bounce back toward the Highlanders, and they pounced on it, but didn't matter. Roosevelt came right out and launched a strong drive. De La Rosa several times flushed from the pocket, as you see here, and big gain, but he came away with a bit of a twisted ankle there. He was hobbling the remainder of the night. And there sets up a little screen to the talented sophomore Howard Maxwell Jr.
Very good balance.
Tremendous weaving in and out of that secondary and brought down inside the 5-yard line. And who are you going to go to but De La Rosa forced a scramble, comes back, ball was tipped. But they ultimately, that was on the 2-point conversion. After they did manage to score, the 2-point conversion went awry. And then Harris coming out, got him into a good area to start their third drive of the second half, but they really sputtered. They just couldn't get anything going, and for the third time in the half, other than the interception, they were 3 and out.
Right.
They just really couldn't get that offense going.
That was quite a little bit unfortunate because they had such a good rhythm during that first half. So that deep inside, I kept on saying to myself, "Come on, guys, just get it going. Just get it going. Score once or twice."
Maxwell with the big run, taking defenders with him as he put that one down inside about the 30-yard line, and then he caps off the drive, pushing it in for the touchdown. And as they came storming back in this rain, which has picked up once again.
Yes, it has.
Here at the McLane High School, as the Roosevelt High Rough Riders, you see there on your screen, win this one by a final score of 32-8.
Hey, thank you so much, Dan. It was a pleasure.
JoJo, it was great to work with you.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it very much. CMAC, you guys are great. Did a tremendous job. Everybody out there in the truck and on the cameras. And wish you all the best going forward. Thanks very much for being with us for another season of high school football here on CMAC Sports. Once again, our final score from McLane Stadium, the Roosevelt Rough Riders 32, the McLane Highlanders 8. Good night, everybody.
Good night.